pretty good on that one.
You did great.
You did better.
Yeah, I'm checking in.
I'm Scott. Meet you.
Mr. Shenanigans.
I'm one of the deputies, but believes you'll be going out for some surgery here. So I'm going to be doing this stuff.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Whoa.
Right here.
Oh, this one. Not like yesterday.
Right. Now you're in. That's why I disconnected this from that. So that's just the way it works. And this is.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show this hour, brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. I am telling you, anyone who doesn't take CBD and you take Tylenol and Bayer aspirin or any Tylenol, ibuprofen instead, you're crazy. This is 10 times as effective for pain, inflammation. It puts a spring in my step after a workout. It's great for pain, anxiety. It's good for skin even. And they have a cosmetics line with anti-inflammatory properties. RealCBDThatWorks.com. 30% off with Tom in the promo code. I really love this stuff. I want to tell you something, a little note here about this show. I've been doing this 40 years. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. And one of the things I do is recommend companies. And I want you to hold my feet to the fire. If ever you have a bad experience or you don't agree with me on a product or service, we never hold back from addressing it. Never. That doesn't mean if you have a complaint, I automatically think the people are scum and drop them, because there are some people that complain and it's resolved or it's not a legit complaint. But it does help me keep my reputation. We had I can count 2 sponsors in 40 years where I made a mistake. And we had to undo some damage. Two sponsors in all of 40 years. The others, let's say, I've had about over 40 years, another 5 that didn't measure up. They just had too many complaints. But they weren't liars or cheats or ripoffs. 2 of them were kind of liars, cheats, and ripoffs. 2 of them. We discovered it, knocked them out, got them out of there, did damage control. Another 5, they were just got a lot of complaints, so we dropped them. But they weren't cheating people. So this is a show unlike any other show where my commercials and my content meld together, and they have to be congruent. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff today. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Yesterday we learned about a Delaware statutory trust, which is an amazing tool where you can take active real estate. If you have an investment property and you want to 1031 your gain into another investment property, but you don't want to manage it, you don't want to collect rents, you don't want maintenance, you don't want anything. You just want to go into a blind kind of investment like a REIT, a real estate investment trust, and let it just make you money. You can defer your gain into a Delaware statutory trust. There are a number of real estate investment trusts in Delaware that are very reputable, that will take your money. Then you can go out and enjoy life, but you make a return on that gain. And get this, you don't pay any tax on that gain. That's pretty cool, huh? We found out about that yesterday. I'm Tom Martino. We also have a guest today, Genesis Total Exteriors. I've known him for many, many years. How long have you been in business?
22 years.
Oh, I probably knew you the whole time. 20 years at least.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. And so we're going to have Dave talk about, Mark talk about his solar company as well. A lot of people think solar is dead, and it's not. And he does, of course, all kinds of exterior work. Okay, hold on. Let's talk to Ann. Hey, Ann. What's happening? Our number is 303-713-TALK. Ann, what's going on?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I am, Ann. What's happening?
Okay, I thought I was going to listen to something else. I have an issue with my HOA.
What's going on with it?
Well, it's a bit of a convoluted story. At the beginning of, the COVID situation in
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
I started having some bumpy times due to unemployment and health problems. And
Got it.
so I got a little bumpy with paying my dues, and I was pretty transparent with them that I was struggling. And so we kind of made our way through 2020.
But hold on, before you go on now, did you miss any payments in 2020?
I did, but I made them up.
Okay, so
And I
at
made
the
them
end,
up.
at
I
the
was
end
real
of
clear with them.
at the end of 2020, there were no fees missing.
I didn't think so.
But what does that mean?
And this is what came into light about January of this
No,
year.
I get it. And you said it was a convoluted story, and I get it, because you had late fees in 2020 that you did not realize.
I don't know if they were late fees. I can just tell you how I recognize them, because their records are not actually very clear to me. And that's kind of what this boils down to.
So you made late, but we can say this. You made, in 2020, you made late payments, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Go ahead. What came to light?
So we went through 2021 where I eventually took money out of my 401k.
Did you pay every payment, or did you have late payments in 21 too? Did you have late? Okay.
And I cleared the slate with them, and I actually paid them in advance for the rest of the year of 2021.
Okay, but in 2021, the reason I'm doing this as we go along is so we can keep track. So in 2020, you had some late payments. In 2021, you cleared the slate. Does that mean that you paid all of 2021 and the late payments for 2020?
I paid 2020 in 2021.
Okay.
And we were okay, except for the fact that I was still struggling. So I took some 401k money, and I went to them and said, here's what I want to do is I want to take all the back payments, get them caught up. Plus, I paid them in June of 2021. I paid them through the rest of the year.
I get it. Plus you paid all of 2020, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had done that previously to the advance payment for the rest of 21.
Got it.
And so when I negotiated this, I negotiated with them and said, look, could you please waive fees, late fees, everything? Could you please do that?
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at when I keep going. I understand what you're saying, but let me say something to those listening. People who are listening, when you have late payments of any kind and you continue to make regular payments, whether it be a car, a house, an HOA, unless you explicitly get a written release from late payments, they're going to show up in the future. Sometimes what they do is apply your current payments to the late fees, and therefore your current payments are shown as late again, which garners more late fees, or worse, if you have enough late fees, your payment is completely missing in the future. So I just want to tell people this is probably what we're going to find out. So keep going, Ann.
Well, to be honest with you, you're giving them credit for applying things the way that they should.
No, I said in general what happens when people have late fees is they end up in default. But anyway, let's go forward. In June of 2020, I just want you to know I'm listening. In 2021, you paid all of 2020, you thought, plus the rest of 2021. Where do we stand now?
Okay. I don't want to get this too confusing, but in March of 2021, I cleared up 2020. So
okay, in March. That's okay.
And then in June, I went to them.
I got it. Go ahead.
What I'm going to do. This is what I want to do.
I
want to clear the slate, and I will pay in advance for the rest of the year.
Okay. All we care about is let's move today. Okay. You paid all of 2020. You paid all of 2021. Now we're in 2022. Let's just go there. What's happening now?
I have to tell you that in in 2021, when I was going to give them that check for the rest of the year, I
Yes.
asked them to waive the fees, and they agreed, and I have it in writing.
Okay, you have it in writing. Good.
Oh,
Good.
that's what I wanted to get to, and
Got
I know
it.
that you want to get to the both.
No,
of them.
that's great. You have it in writing. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, sir. I did. Okay, and so everything
Wow, that's
was
smart.
silent. Everything was silent from them for the rest of 2021, and then in January of 2022, this year,
Yes.
I received a letter from their attorney, and they are known as.
Yeah, I don't care about all that. I don't care about
Okay.
names. I don't care about. In January, you received a letter. What did it say?
It says that as of November 2021, I owed $103.06. And then they also said you were charged an amount in fees, which they said was $1,034. So when I got that letter in January of this year,
Saying you
went
owed
to my
approximately
HOA.
$1,200. What happened?
I went to my HOA and I said, I'm sorry about this, letter, but we had agreed to waive
Right.
everything.
Right.
And so I had them produce copies of the emails that I had so that they could look at it.
I get it.
And I also got them to say, hey, she mentioned this in her original email, and it looks like her request was approved.
Good.
And in fact, I do have the approved for the community manager
Right. Okay.
at that time.
So they should waive
I have
those
all that
fees.
proof.
You have it in
I
writing.
have all that proof.
So what happened?
So I went to them and I said, I'm so confused. So I went back through my
And do me a favor here, dear. What you're doing is you're telling me the process. I went through the papers. I looked here. I talked to them. They said this. I said that. Here's what I want.
Got it.
What? Now, I want to help you, but rather than tell me the process, tell me what is happening. Are they going to waive the fees, or are they still insisting you owe them? Tell me that part first.
I thought they did.
I know, but
The next after I conversed with them, I found that they had lost a check back in 2020, so I paid that this year. As a result of this letter about $100, I found they had lost $316 in a check,
okay,
and so I paid that too.
okay.
Sorry, but I got to tell you, this is how this went.
So you don't
So the
balance
next
your
thing
you
I
don't
did,
balance your
I
check you don't
did-
balance your checkbook. You didn't know those were not cashed.
Just that one check.
Okay.
And I only write.
Did
like,
they consider that good? Did they consider that good that you made good on those lost checks? Did they consider that good?
I thought that they did, and I still think that they're clear with that.
Good.
You have to understand they don't communicate with me very very well.
No, I get it.
So in the meantime,
Why are you
So
calling
I-
today? What is happening today?
because I got a summons to go to court.
And what are
And
they
this
looking
time-
for?
This time they say it's $725.
Okay, why?
I don't know. And they won't talk to me. They will not, and they will not tell me how they come up with $725 because I paid every one
I
of my
get you.
HOA payments for this year.
And I
So
agree with you. And here's the problem.
Everyone- and I was
Somewhere
fined even though I was
Somewhere
upset.
they're going to believe that you owe them money. The summons to go to court is where you get to tell the judge your story. You have all of your records. You have every check you've issued. But here's what I think's happening. Listen carefully, and those checks where you paid your late fees, when they lost them, they're considering them unpaid. When you reissued the check, they're saying that's fine, but you owe more than those original fees because you didn't pay them back in 2020. You paid them in 2022. And even though your intent was you have to show where you wrote those checks back in 2020, you're going to have to tell the judge that so they erase the additional fees. I don't know if they don't talk to you. I don't know if they talk to us. We can try to give it to one of our deputies to find out. Suze, do you want to give it to someone to see if they'll listen to us? She's telling a very good story. And even though, she wanted to tell me the process, she's got it right. Okay? She fell on hard times in 2020. In 2021, she paid everything. She got a waiver of late fees in writing. They lost 2 checks. Now they're coming after her. I can email Marty my notes if you want to give it to him. There will be people who say, I interrupt people. If I didn't, that fucking woman would go on for 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
4 hours.
But you know what did happen? You realized you couldn't get through to her, and you just started listening. And finally she calmed down and gave you the story.
Well, she never gave me the story.
Well,
actually, not really.
Better.
When you have a homeowner's claim, you're not going to be treated right by your insurance company. It's a fact. It is a fact. And I'll take on any adjuster or any insurance agent that wants to argue with me. That's why we recommend public adjusters. Now listen, they have to be public adjusters. They sign a contract with you on contingency, like Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Do you know what they do? They will take a look at any insurance claim you have, whether it's for the big fires, the fringe area with fire, with soot and ash and all the fringe damage, or broken pipes, any kind of hail or wind, any kind of insurance thing. They'll look at it. Even claims that have been closed, if you don't feel right about them, they'll take a look at them too. And if you're not treated right, if they think they can do better, they will tell you. And then they'll get more money than you could ever get on your own for your claim on a small contingency. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado. Here's the website, coclaims.com. The number, 720-715-0000. O'Brien Legal Services. Brad, he was in our show the other day. He is such a wealth of information on real estate. If you are going through any real estate, commercial or residential, or any conflict on easements or eminent domain or adverse possession or any kind of border dispute, O'Brien Legal Services. If you're a landlord, O'Brien Legal Services. If you are a commercial real estate manager, O'Brien Legal Services. OLSlaw.com. 720-370-7388.
Are you one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? It's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program without free credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness? Modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergens, bacteria, and viruses from getting into your lungs. But how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage isn't medicine, it's more like plumbing.
I emailed Marty the notes.
Powered suction to pull saline.
I think that helps sometimes when they're not
very
listening.
back of the nose where germs can get
I
trapped
think that
and
helps
multiply.
sometimes. I just
And
keep
then
my
out the other
notes
nostril,
apart.
flushing out mucus and
Marty's
microbes.
actually in YouTube right now.
Sleep deeper, snore less,
Marty's
and
on the
stay
YouTube right now.
healthy.
He hasn't been there the whole
Join
time, but
us and find out for yourself how
So,
touching and easy
to leave.
Navage is.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
Navage
know that
comes
sometimes
with
people don't think,
that's right,
people
it's
think
that
though,
hard.
and by the way, here's weird, sometimes I do want to hear the process because it's funny and entertaining, but other times I don't, because other times they just say, well, I went through my records and then I was doing this, and but you ever notice people always talk process and not substance? They always explain the process.
yeah, well, if they're meandering around.
Why are they explaining the process? Why do you think people do that? They don't, like if they had a complaint about you, they'd say, well, when he came to the door, I told him I wanted, and he said, and then
That's how some people are, though.
They want you to
That's why
get
they
their
feel like-
feeling. You know, they're not about what's going on. They want you to get their feeling.
you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Get their feeling.
They want to tell you their frustration.
Yes.
And like I said, sometimes I like that because I want to hear it because it's interesting as hell and they're funny. Sometimes it's just like, well, on Tuesday, January 1st, 2021, I got a letter. And the letter said, you know, just say, I got a letter last year. You know what I mean? But some people are so exact on everything. But when you complain to people, they don't hear you when you do that. Like, if she calls the HOA, if she wants to go to court, what she says is, Your Honor, I pay these fees, they lost the check. Now they're charging me for it.
Simple as that. And here's my, and here's where I pay.
That's it. When you get into all of the minutia, the judges. Hi,
Tom Martino here. By the way, I just want to say something. This is very important. With Ann, she's got a good case. They are probably jerking her around. And HOAs do that to everyone. Do you know why? Because they're fighting with your money and everyone else's money. There's no one person shoving out money to the attorney. You're all chipping in for that. So they don't think twice about hiring an attorney or foreclosing on your house. But when you go to court, let me explain something. And I've said this before. The attorney who wins at court, or the consumer, or the defendant, or the plaintiff, whatever the case is, the ones who win in court are not the ones who necessarily are right. The ones who win in court are the ones who explain it to the judge so the judge understands it and agrees with them. If the judge finds your story complicated and convoluted, even though it's correct, and they find the other party succinct, to the point, and logical, a judge does not want to have brain damage. They will literally opt for the easy argument in order to clear the case. I swear to God, any good attorney is going to tell you that. You guys listening right now know that. You guys and gals, you know, if you're an attorney, the one who explains it to the judge, and of course the jury, the best way are the ones that win, not necessarily the right ones. Get this. Some attorneys go so far as to write out the order for the judge, leaving it blank on the date. Honest to God, they actually, as part of their complaint, write the order that the judge should sign for them. Whether it be a summary judgment or an order to dismiss or whatever. I have seen cases where a judge literally ignores every fact of the case and simply goes with what the attorney on the other side told them because it was easier for him to understand. It is so true. So someone like Ann, who's right, could go into court and lose completely because she did not and cannot explain it. And the other party simply says she owes some money. Here it is. It's missing. There were never any checks. Joseph, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on?
But it's paint day.
Joseph.
Joseph, I'm here.
Yeah, turn down the radios. Turn down the radio. Well, how can we help you, Joseph?
Just a second, Tom.
Sure.
Okay, I took off the speaker.
Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
We talked close to about a month ago about Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Oh, I recall it roughly. Let me look up your file here, but go ahead.
So basically, just wanted to see if I could get some help because you had asked that. I had mentioned to you that I
tell me what it was Cane's Chicken. What was the problem?
Loud music blasted at 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
We got 2 speakers blasting towards our building, which has been there since 1958.
Yes, I remember that. And it's the workers there that get in there early, right?
No, it's the late.
Or the late, okay.
Probably the swing shift. They're open until midnight.
Yes.
They're there
30. This is 38th and Wadsworth.
Yes, sir.
I remember now. I got my notes here. What can we do for you? I think when we talked about this, it's a kind of problem, man, that, you know, we said get in touch with management. I'm sure they don't condone it. And all they have to do is turn off their outside speakers and they can have music inside.
Right. I've talked to the corporate office, and they said they would respond and do something, but nothing was ever done.
So you mean to tell me right now, every night they still have this blaring early in the morning?
Not every night. It's like on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. It's a certain shift.
Have you ever walked over there? Have you ever walked over there and just said, "Hey guys, can you just turn off the outside speaker"?
Yes, sir. I've got a letter from Wheat Ridge. It's from the police chief. Basically, what it's saying is that here's a list of all documents, time when you have called the non-emergency 911 number to respond about the loud noise, and the police officers did respond. They were great. I have a list of that, a letter from the police department chief saying, 2-page letter, sorry, Tom, listing all of the dates that I complained, and then on the back it says, well, we don't feel that this is a crime, and so we will no longer respond.
Well, it isn't a crime, and they're tired of doing it. I mean, are you the only one complaining, or do other people in the neighborhood complain?
Pretty much, it's just our building because we are so close. We're 150 feet from.
Yeah, but your building. Any other people in that building?
Yes, I have. There's only 11 units in my building, and I live on site. I'm the property manager.
So did we have one of our deputies call Kane's?
Not. What happened, Tom, is somehow we got lost. I was on hold, and then all of a sudden there was a different person.
All right,
that came
hold on. Let's give this. Let's give this to Deputy Doc. He's on duty, right? I can send this to him. This is wrong. This truly is. I mean, they should be able to handle this thing, and we have to call them. So I'm sending this to Deputy Doc, okay? And let's see if he can call corporate and just say, hey, give this guy a break. I mean, it's a building, and all they have to do is instruct the staff that at 3 in the morning, they shouldn't be blaring outside speakers.
I mean,
This is Denver's talk station.
Store manager handles it.
yeah, but they don't. This is such a simple.
The guy said he's walked over there, he's talked to people.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell
Such a simple
Technologies.
An excellent
Right.
time to be traveling on the major metro highways. Windy, but no accidents or really any major slow traffic to deal with if you're traveling on I-25 or across I-70 right now. 225 and C-470 looking good. Your drive through Lakewood on 6th Avenue is also in good shape, and no reported slow traffic on the Boulder Turnpike either direction between Boulder and I-25. Fox 31 pinpoint weather today, partly cloudy, windy and dry with a high of 51. Tonight slow drops to 30, and then mostly sunny with a high of 56 for tomorrow. Currently it's 40. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 K-How.
Sometimes it feels like your business is going 100 miles an hour, barely keeping up. Dell Technologies advisors have the Windows PCs and tech you need to help you pass whatever's in front of you. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
Joe Lazara is a criminal defense attorney that I hope you never need. But if you got a DUI, never try to fight it alone. Even if you want to plead guilty, it's not a thing you need to do on your own. You can miss too many deadlines, and it has devastating consequences. When you're accused of any crime, you need an attorney, and you can't, please, shop under pressure. Joe Lazara will give a free initial consultation and flat rates if you hire him. That's Joe Lazara. You can find him on my referral list at referralist.com, 303-429-6200. One of the popular discussions we have on this show is about retirement. There are many ways to retirement. One way is to accumulate a bundle of money you can use in retirement tax-free.
And one of those strategies involves overfunding a life insurance policy. Now, the life insurance is gravy. What you really want is the cash value, which grows tax-free. No gimmicks, it's tax-free if you use it the way they tell you. And you can borrow from it and pay yourself back and keep accumulating it until retirement. Find out more at this website, becomethebanker.org.
The True Crime Podcast.
What happened to Sandy Bean investigates the alarming death of a young woman who dreamed of a career in law enforcement. Journalist Melissa Jelson untangles the mystery at the heart of the investigation, revealing a troubling pattern by officials close to the case.
I didn't take any of that crap because I could tell that they were hiding something.
Listen to What Happened to Sandy Bean on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Welcome to the Casa Cat.
Oh my, is that a hot dog? It's covering a hole in your wall.
Yeah, I had leaks, but the plumber who repipe doesn't do drywall.
He doesn't? Repipe specialist would have repiped and offered to fix the holes in your walls.
Got leaks? Repipe specialist will repipe your house in 1 or 2 days and offer to fix the drywall. Call 303-228-2910 for a free in-home estimate and pay nothing down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 303-228-2910 or visit repipe.com. Equity is at all-time high. Interest rates are still historically low. That's the ideal combination to apply at idealhomeloans.com. First, we listen and we lend, including the interest rate guarantee. If rates go down, they'll refinance you free of charge. Take your own term loan. Also, rock solid pre-approvals, which put you at par with cash buyers. Call now, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. So many people have told me about Orchard, and no wonder. It's the new way to sell. For example, Orchard makes you a cash offer for your home. And when your home sells for more, you get the difference. No longer do you have to choose between an easy home sale or the best price for your home. Let me tell you about Ruth, a recent Orchard customer. Ruth's home sold on the market for $33,000 above his cash offer. Had he gone to a home buying company, he would have missed out on that extra money. But with Orchard, he got more cash at closing. Rudy's story isn't unique. 99 out of 100 Orchard customers sell on market for more than their cash offer. Getting started is easy. You go online and enter your address at orchard.com. It's just a couple of minutes. You skip home listing ads. If you're thinking about selling,
I'm considering throwing some rocks up in this YouTube room.
Go ahead.
No, they're giving Doc a hard time.
Why do they do that?
Huh?
Why do they do that?
Turn it down for a second.
Turn it off.
The entire day.
Then he turned to steroids.
Cortisone would last a few months, but it just inevitably came right back. Got to the point where I would have to wear ice packs to bed.
When the word surgery came up, Cam started looking elsewhere, and he found QC Kinetics. Natural biologic therapies, regenerative treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue. With no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. And now,
I'm very proud to say that it has definitely changed my life. I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything is great.
Call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation.
I would recommend QC to anybody.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986.
Brighten your home and save 10% on Benjamin Moore paint by joining the Guy Reed Loyalty Program. Stop by a store or go to GUIRYS.com to sign up today. Guy Reed, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Trade in, trade up, trade down, whatever your needs are, the Sharpest Rides will get you the best offer, hands down. Your car is worth more now than any time in the past. They're located just minutes from I-25 in Santa Fe, and they have the best appraisals in town. Get more info today at thesharpestrides.com.
Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing, 303-761-6400.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. WaterPros.net for the best water systems at the lowest prices. I can't say more than that. water purification for drinking water under $1,000 fully installed. Whole house systems on around $2,000 fully installed. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. By the way, Water Pros is the best at the lowest prices, and you got my word on that. WaterPros.net, Paul the Waterman, free water tests throughout the metro area. Free water test, WaterPros.net. Now, Mark Schmansky, let's talk about solar. Are the credits still exactly the same, or are they lesser, or what are they?
Yeah, you still have a 26% tax.
That's incredible. That's a credit now. That's 26% of the cost of the system.
And one of the best things is if you do some, let's say you have a $10,000 solar system, you can add another $4,500 of other upgrades to your home, like you gotta have some more insulation, new windows, anything that helps your energy efficiency of your home. You can also get the 26% tax credit off that also.
Like what?
So again, so let's say you're billed out, you had $10,000 in solar.
Okay.
And then you can go up to 45% of that, so another $4,500 in new windows.
Really? And it would be covered under the same credit?
Correct. It has to be underneath the same contract. It can't be like,
and you're one of the few that can do that.
Yes, because we do it all.
Oh man, you know what? I'm writing this down for future reference. So you're saying that if they get a solar done,
right,
and you can do 45% of the cost of that toward other energy efficient things.
Right.
But if you just went and did windows, you don't.
Right, you do not. You can get an energy tax credit if you do other energies, and each thing has a different percentage. But if you're throwing it underneath the solar, and you're doing it underneath one contract, yeah, you can do it that way, where you get your full 26%.
What is considered auxiliary energy efficient stuff that would complement solar? Windows, what else?
Windows.
Could siding?
Siding could if you can show it increases the energy efficiency of your home.
Like the R factor?
Right. If you're increasing the R factor, insulation, a new furnace, new AC, both of those qualify.
Man, I mean, that's an added benefit I don't think people realize.
Yeah.
Do you have people taking advantage of it?
Yes, we just did an AC unit on one. We just got that installed. In fact, that's being installed this week. And so, yeah, we do have people taking advantage of this.
Now, under your system, when they own the system and they're selling their house, if it's not paid for yet, they can just pay for it out of the proceeds of the house if they want, or can the new owner take over the purchase?
Most of the time, 90% of the time, it gets assumed and it gets paid off at the end of it. It's no like any other lien that you had on your house. It's going to get paid off at that time. It's the cleanest way to do it. Can you have the new person assume it? Yes. It's just not as common. It's like most people know.
So basically, you sell it. The profit you make at the house, you pay off the solar system. That comes off your basis. It lowers your capital gains if there are any.
Right. And per Zillow, they state that solar increases your house value by 5%.
Okay. And as far as the other things that you do along with solar, if you did windows really increase the value of your house. Because replacing windows is a big deal, and a lot of builder-grade windows don't last.
No.
When you buy a home, unless it's a very expensive home, those windows are not meant to last, unfortunately.
No, they're not. And, again, it's a huge industry. We see it all the time. You have many advertisers as well as us.
Yeah.
Replace windows.
Right. And as far as other things like solar and windows, and if siding increases R value, what about insulation?
Yeah, insulation is one of your easiest ones to do.
Caulking, all of that?
Yeah, you can do that. And also, if your roof is so old, that can also get covered.
Really?
Yeah, let's say you had an insurance claim and you never did that. You kept your money, right?
Right.
This would be the time to get your roof done, and then you can also get your 26% off of that, too. Because you have to have a good roof before you can put solar on it. So that does also help.
So if you're doing solar, you can literally add to it roofing and get a tax credit on your roofing.
Correct.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Now, does that go for just primary residences, or can you do it on investment property?
As far as I know, investment property is fine. I have not been asked that.
No, I think the tax credit goes for purchasing, like businesses get it, schools get it, right?
Yeah.
And have you done commercial installations?
We're in the process of getting some. Those take much longer to get approved.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The permitting process is much longer.
But do they also get additional stuff they can do under the same tax credit? We have more coming up. Stick around, 303-713-TALK. Any and all questions.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen.
That is cool.
You know, and right now there's no better time because the cost of solar is less than your electric bill. So, you know, if you're paying cash, you're paid off in like 11 years.
And the Nebraska border if you're traveling out onto the eastern plains. But back here in Denver, things look good. No reported slow traffic on I-25 and no major highway accidents right now.
What's up? All right. Now I get run out. I'm good with it. I love it. Because I'm prepped.
What are you up to, Mark?
I am
How
prepped.
are you doing, Mark?
Oh, the Mark.
Sit over here, bro.
No, that's okay.
So to leave. So a little bit ago, that went to yellow for a few seconds.
That means that that means that the Wi-Fi
That's what I thought.
was getting weak. As long as it comes back to red, and you get a spot coming.
BlakeHarrisLaw.com is the website to visit for estate planning. It'll tell you all about Blake Harris, attorney at law, the one we use as our expert, the one doing our estate plans. If you have an estate plan, you may need it updated, or you may not have one. Visit BlakeHarrisLaw.com and ask your questions. Call him. He doesn't charge you for answers. He doesn't make you come in for a consultation. He'll answer your questions. Then, if you hire him, there's no obligation. If you do, it's flat rate pricing quoted up front. BlakeHarrisLaw.com, 833-ASK-BLAKE. The liquid loan. Think about it. What that means is the liquid loan is a line of credit on your house, but it's like having a regular mortgage, but better. For example, if you refi into a liquid loan, your loan gets paid off, your existing loan, right? Now you have this liquid loan. Let's say you owe $350. Well, that $350 you can pay interest only if you're only going to be there a few years. Or let's say you decide after a few years, no, we want to stay here longer, let's pay principal. You can pay as much principal as you want, anytime you want. You control everything, your monthly payment, your principal payments, and all you have to do is get the liquid loan. Here's what else it does for you. It will allow you to borrow more money if you need it, depending on your equity, which is set out up front. It's a 30-year line of credit. And the most incredible part is any dollar you have in the bank for regular bills or savings offsets your mortgage balance, and you pay less interest. Only from Affordable Interest Mortgage. First, look up theliquidloan.com, 720-895-0500. Hey.
I'm in. If you don't know me, because I'm not.
I have friends and colleagues who know I'm on the air from 10 to 2, and that's the only time they text me.
How's solar going, man? It's got to be better in the summer period, right?
Actually, people think about that.
Yeah, of course. You don't think of solar when the fucking wind's 100 miles an hour and it's cold as shit.
No. But you know what's kind of wild? Your solar panels can produce more electricity in the winter than they do in the summer.
Why is that?
Because the efficiency of electricity goes down. It's one of them.
Yeah.
All your panels get warm, they're not as efficient. Of course, you got more hours of sunshine summer, so that makes up for all that theory. But hour for hour,
Plus free shipping.
winter's better.
Just go to harrys.com and enter 7750 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7750.
Pardon me, Scott Talib. Guy called to tell you guys that the sound is horrible on the YouTube. So he says that all of a sudden it started sounding like AM static. So you could hear, but there's an AM static behind it. Anyway.
I thought we were doing good. Yeah.
That might be it.
303-295-6022. Buyandbuild.net.
You think just from moving there to there?
Sounds like you guys can hear us now, right? Okay. So back to live.
Stop avoiding your erectile dysfunction issue. Peak Performance for Men is offering your best offer yet. Call today to book your free consultation and free blood flow evaluation. 1-800-210-8181. Peak Performance for Men helps over 80% of men receive the treatment and experience long. Peak Performance for Men help you today. All it takes is one phone call for a free consultation, free blood flow evaluation. Call 1-800-210-8181. That's 1-800-210-8181. He's not talking about it. He's tweeting about it. You tweet on Twitter. Follow the Troubleshooter at Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of Denver's talk stations on Twitter.
Just give me your Twitter and I'll follow you.
Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's talk and find out what's on your mind, 303-713-TALK. And I want to tell you that our guy, Frank Duran, the real estate man, he does market analysis of your home free for the asking. Now, don't think this is a drive-by. This guy takes the time to analyze your home as to what it will actually sell for, and he bases it on 27 years of experience. So it's valuable information. Not an appraisal, not Zillow, a real evaluation and a market analysis. 303-920-1622. Let's talk. We have Mark Szymanski with us from Genesis Solar and also Genesis Total Exteriors. Are you still, Mark, are you still doing fencing? Fencing is a call we get more than you'd believe.
Yeah, no, we do fencing.
What kind of fencing do you do?
We do the split rail. We do cedar fence. So the most common one is a cedar, either a 5 or 6 foot cedar picket fence.
Yeah. Why is it that so many fencing contractors, I hate throwing stones at an industry, but the restoration industry sucks, the solar industry sucks, and thank goodness you're in that. And then the fencing industry, a lot of these guys take money and never finish. Yeah. I mean, have you run into finishing jobs for fencing people?
No, we ran into, you guys had me go on a few calls where somebody just doesn't do it right. It's all crooked.
Oh my God.
Level. And, and a lot of times, people are just trying to, bury it in the ground, and you need to do more than that. Sometimes you need to put caissons in.
Concrete, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Lee, welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Lee?
Oh, hi.
Hi. What's happening?
Well, I bought a thermometer last night.
Oh, is this your oven?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to explain to people why you're calling. This is important. Oh. No, Lee, I like to give some background. Lee said she bought a new oven, and it's just not working right. She says her chocolate chip cookies and all of that, this Whirlpool oven that was installed, it just doesn't work right. She's had corporate come out. She's had people come out, and they all say, listen, Lee, we can't help you because it's working correctly, and it's keeping its temperature. And if 350 is 350 and it keeps 350, they can't take responsibility for your chocolate chip cookie recipe or your whatever. So we said, hey, why don't you verify it? Why don't you get an oven thermometer you can put on a shelf in the oven, and you can watch and you can compare the set temperature to the actual temperature on this thermometer. So what did you do, and did it work?
Okay, I bought a thermometer, and I preheated to 350, and the thermometer stayed at 300 until about 234. I mean, at 220, I put the it was preheated, and the oven was set at 350, but the thermometer was saying 300. So the highest it went up to was 340. And then this morning,
Hold on. When you set it at 350, the highest it went was 340?
340.
Okay, hold on. What if you set it to 450? Would it go to 440 or 430? Did you set it at anything other than 350?
Well, this morning I set it at 375.
And what happened?
And it didn't go up above 350.
You know what? That's when he tested it, the guy from the factory service place, what temperature did he test?
He tested 350, and I don't know if he did.
Now, when you what kind of thermometer did you buy? Did you go to Walmart or where?
I went to Target, and it's a Taylor. A Taylor thermometer.
And is it the kind of thermometer that sits on the shelf or that you have to probe into something?
It sits on the shelf and then it has a little hang thing. So I had to hang it on because
no, so you can actually, when you looked at it though, you looked at it through the window or did you open it up? Okay.
No, I didn't open it. I put a flashlight on.
You know what? Okay, now, as promised, we're going to get someone to call these people and say replace the oven.
Okay. Yes, I want you to call Whirlpool because I don't think these people that they've contracted with will do that.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the magic wheel and find a good deputy for you, and I think that I found one.
Okay.
Okay, and it's going to be, I'll tell you, right? It's Deputy Dollar. P1. Deputy Dollar, what do you think? What do you think? Can you talk, sir? Dollar. Put the mic closer to your mouth, man. What do you think, seriously? I mean, she did the thermometer as we asked. Couldn't you make an argument to them that they're not fixing it?
Yes, he could.
I mean, really,
Yeah.
you've walked this journey with us the last few days. So, Lee, thank you very much for doing what you did. You know, you really did follow up as we asked you to.
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you do that? Why don't you hold on, and Deputy Dollar will be contacting you. Okay, Mark Szymanski, Genesis, Total Exteriors. Now, you've done your interiors from time to time, and again, you're scaling out to mainly solar and outside. But when you do inside stuff, isn't this some of the crap you have to put up with? Because if you installed it, even if you didn't sell it, and the manufacturer doesn't do anything, they look to you, right?
Yeah, it's our responsibility.
Everything that you put in. Exactly. Isn't that terrible? I mean, that's one of the reasons a lot of guys don't like doing kitchens, because every single component is their responsibility, as well as the manufacturer, as well as the retailer.
Yep.
Everybody gets in line. So we'll see what we can do for you, Lee. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up. 303-713-TALK. Give us a call.
No, I'm serious. It's like, well, wait a minute. The factory said there's nothing wrong. I don't care.
Yeah, for some reason, I thought you were going to give it to Marty, so I was kind of watching this.
No, you're the winner.
I'm the winner.
Give
it
him
a
chicken dinner.
Slow on the uptake.
You get to go to Cane's for chicken dinner.
I want to go to 38 and Wadsworth where they play.
I'd like to hear that music. I bet that music's not that fucking loud.
Which music?
The Cane's Chicken Call.
Oh.
Go on out there at 3 in the morning, will you?
Fuck no. Where is it?
38 and Wadsworth.
That's on the corner from you.
Yeah, it's right down the street from Franktown.
Yeah, you get there in a
And
plane.
you can go there at 11 o'clock at night.
Get carjacked.
Or online, AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 1823334.
I've only eaten that Cane's once. I thought it was just okay.
I've never eaten there.
What, Cane's chicken?
They don't even have barbecue sauce.
You know?
No, they have their own little sauce, and that's all they try to.
That's it. They might have ketchup.
I tried this place called Kickin' Chicken.
Yes, kicking chicken. I've been
my
there before.
God, that was good.
Where's that one?
That was over by my office on Union and Sims.
There's one down.
Second or Cedar and Sims.
There's one downtown.
Is there?
Yeah.
U.S. and allies now.
Yep.
There was a line, but it was good.
Official says the Biden administration believes that Vladimir Putin, his inner circle,
Very
and
Christian.
Russian oligarchs hide their wealth and assets with family members who then place them in the U.S. financial system. That's why the U.S. is targeting with new sanctions Putin's 2 adult daughters. Also getting hit with sanctions, members of Russia's Security Council and the wife and daughter of Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Ellen Kaiser, News, Washington.
Justice Department also announced it charged Russian oligarch.
So, ladies and gentlemen, does the sound better now?
He's accused of trying to evade U.S. sanctions by secretly setting up pro-Russia television channels across Europe. An FDA panel is meeting today, hearing from a wide range of health experts about booster shots for the fall. This is ABC News.
Will they give you a thumbs up or
Australia
something?
joins the U.S. and
Will
the
they give you a
UK
thumbs up?
developing a new generation of
They just heard it. See, the streams are like 30 seconds behind.
Oh, okay.
So when I said that, I'm listening to the stream now.
Right.
Here, when I come out, I hear it sounds pretty good, but I don't know what they're thinking about their sound.
Right.
Because sometimes it's really just a matter of somebody turning their own car.
Yeah.
But there's no contract.
Cannot be respected by current missile defense systems. Tom Rivers, BBC News at the Foreign Desk.
And these two people killed from severe storms that slammed the South.
Man, it was so, we were in Laramie yesterday. Man, we saw, the wind was, it was bad. But coming back, so it's probably around 12:30 on that road that goes from Laramie to Fort Collins, kind of that catty corner. It wasn't a fifth wheel, but it was a trailer. It was long as fuck, man. Probably a 30-foot trailer. Looked pretty new, too, man. Fucking straight down in the middle of the road. Right upside, not upside down, but on its side. I was like, holy shit. That is some crazy wind. That'd be terrifying. We were in our old unit one time on C-470, and we were leaving for a long trip, like a 30-dayer. It was in 2020, and we were going down C-470, and the wind was so fucking aggressive. I was literally steering wheel like this to hold it on, and I was thinking, fuck, man, I don't think we're gonna leave today.
Right.
But then as soon as we hit 70 and it became a headwind, it was fine.
Right.
You know, and then it went away pretty quick. But
Were you in your motorhome yesterday?
No, fuck no. Actually, our new one wouldn't matter because it's fuck, man, it's 55,000 pounds. It's a bus. Our old one, to give you an idea, this one's 45 feet long, which is as long as you can get. Our old one was 38 feet long. Our old one was 23,000 pounds. This one's 54. I mean, it gives you an idea. Oh, it's crazy. It was kind of scary in that. That was the scariest I've ever driven in an RV, man.
So you guys good with Wyoming?
She loved it, man. I think she's going to be in law school there. I'm pretty sure. I'll find out here soon.
College?
Yeah, so she got in there. We still got to go look at DU.
That's where my younger son goes to DU.
Yeah.
Big cost difference there.
Well, you got in school versus out. Remember, we're talking purely law school. I think DU comes in at, I want to say in-state's 55. Wyoming, out of state, is about 35, but you got a nice scholarship there. So that actually drops it by 10. So 25 a year. But then you've got expenses like living and food that she wouldn't have at DU because she would simply stay at home.
Right.
But I think it's better if she does go away to law school, to be honest. But it's going to be completely up to her. But if I had to guess, I think she's going to Wyoming. Yeah. She, I think she got into Florida too. She's like, yeah, fuck it, I don't want to go to Florida. That's too far. Right.
Okay.
She'll be, so the average person up there, their average student is 27, law school. She's 19, so she's a little like, she was asking all the right questions.
She's but she does what helps the council show too?
Yeah. Dude, she worked for George Brockler over 2 summers. He wrote her one of the best fucking admission letters. And then she was on the jury for a school shooting last year, STEM school. Kid walked in and fucking shot the whole place up, killed a few. She was on the fucking jury.
Just one guy died, right?
One guy died, another one was shot.
Right.
And one was, I want to say a transgender. I don't quite remember the whole deal, but the one that went to trial and didn't take the plea was basically blaming pressure from the other kid to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I forget if that was a transgender or not. I don't remember who's doing it.
It's sad we don't remember details of shootings. There's so many of them.
Oh my God, so many of them. You know, not long ago, if you said a school shooting, one thing would come up, Columbine.
Yeah.
That was it. There was nothing for years, and then all of a sudden.
Now you have to ask which year.
What state, which year.
What state.
The worst one that I still, in my entire memory, is that fucking Sandy Hook, because they were just little babies, man. That was unbelievable. That guy was the fucking devil walking around. Shot his mom. Shot the whole classroom. When they first came out, for the first 2 or 3 hours, they weren't saying, like, how many people were in there. I knew it was bad.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints, and make your life a little easier. I love talking about great people like One Clear Choice Garage Doors. I mean, I've been representing these guys, and I've never gotten a complaint. Do you realize that? They'll go out and inspect a garage door for $80. You may say, why? Well, guess what? I moved into a house that had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors at one time. Not now, but I used to. And they went out and inspected them. And they go through the entire thing. And if you ever need a garage door inspected, you'll get it. Say, moving into a home. By the way, they have all of their prices on their website for any component you need, from springs to openers to doors to panels. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Great people in the garage door business. Mark, what are you looking at? You're smiling. You're smirking.
Your microphone's just a little squeaky.
Is my what? Is it really?
Yeah, it's weird.
Should I get a new mic? Seriously, is it bad?
No, it's not that bad.
Oh, okay. You know, someone called in and said that, and I wasn't sure what it was. But in any case, if I start sounding weird, let me know. Does it sound weird?
Hey, Suzanne and I are going out to a case after work.
What's that?
This lady called up.
Yes.
And she says one of our referral list HVAC companies installed a furnace.
Yes.
And ever since, it's loud as hell. Every time it comes on.
You mean louder than her previous one?
Way louder, apparently.
If anything, it should be quieter.
They've been out 5 times and say it's fine.
But how are you going to be able to judge the loudness?
Well, I think it's going to be, I mean, I've lived in numerous homes.
I've had that issue, and it's a lot of times that you can turn down the fan, how hard the fan is blowing the air.
Yeah, the old one could have been, hold on. If it's variable or 2-stage, but it could be her old one had 1 speed and it was low.
Yeah, it could be. Here's the other thing that I'm thinking.
And a variable one will start out high.
She's like 78 years old,
and
I bet she has hearing aids. And I wonder if the new one just happens to put out a certain, just that right frequency that drives her crazy. But I don't know. We'll find out.
You know, that could be. Now, let's talk to Jim about contractors' trust issues. Hey, what's going on, Jim?
So back at the end of February, oh, by the way, hi, Tom.
Hi.
Really enjoy your show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Back at the end of January, I signed a contract with a gentleman to replace some fence posts, and I'd actually had him do this before for me about a year and a half ago.
Now, just for some fence posts?
Yes.
Okay.
Replace cedar fence posts. So take out the old post in the concrete and put in a new post. And he'd done that for me before.
May I ask, Jim, I'm trying to picture this. Is there fencing between the posts?
Yes.
What kind of fencing?
It's cedar fencing.
Like cedar picket. Okay. Was he going to remove the pickets and redo the posts?
What he does, he's got a real slick way of doing this. He's able to disconnect the supports from the fence, slide it over enough to get out the old post, put the new one in, and reattach the fence.
Okay, I can see where they could do that. Yeah, so he does one post at a time. He disconnects the top and bottom rail where the pickets attach, or sometimes the middle rail. Right, Mark? Can you picture that? Mark?
Yes, I can.
Genesis Total Exteriors. Have you ever done that where you replace posts with an existing fence?
I have to say, I think most of the time it's the whole thing's going because...
Yeah, okay. So anyway, what happened? Jim, what happened?
So I signed a contract with him to replace 8 posts, and I gave him $750 for material. which I was happy to do, and he promised to complete the job in about 2 weeks. So I stayed in touch with him. This is at a rental property.
And how much did you pay up? I'm sorry. How much did you say you paid up front?
$750, and about $600 of that is the actual cost of materials.
Wait, is $750 the whole job or just the deposit?
No, the deposit. The whole job was $1,500.
Okay, got it.
And so, I kept contacting the renter to see if this gentleman had showed up, and there was no activity.
Well, let's cut to the chase. Did he show up ever?
He did, to replace one post, and now he's just ghosting me, won't respond. And so what I would like to do, I've heard you talk about the Contractor's Trust Act. I'd like to use that. I mean, I'll take him to small claims regardless, but I'd like to use that because I'm not sure he ever bought all of the material that I gave him the deposit.
Jim, first of all, okay, the Contractor's Trust Act is very specific, but the money put down on a job has to be held for that job, and it must be applied to that job. It can't be commingled. Well, theoretically, it's commingled in a bank, but it has to be there for you. And, however, I don't think you can break it down. Like the first $750 should be materials. Where are the materials? I don't think you can I don't think the law really talks about the specifics of each payment. So, and also, the fact that the job was started, if he claims financial difficulty or other problems, it takes it out of the Contractor's Trust Act and puts it into a civil breach of contract or a civil matter like, it's incompetent, or his guy got sick, or he's running into difficulty. And it's not, see, the Contractor's Trust Act is meant to be more criminal, even though it starts out civil, but it's meant to be a more intentional breach as opposed to a business problem. If this guy is smart enough where and I think he is, he took the money, did one post, and moves on, he turns each of his little projects into civil matters that he does not believe people will pursue.
You could still go after him in small claims.
Exactly.
For treble damages based on the Contractor's Trust Act.
So
you know, he's supposed to have, just like Tom said, this is very interesting about this law. You don't have to have a separate bank account for everybody's monies that you're dealing with, but you're supposed to have a ledger or something showing where that money is and what bank account it's in and who that tagged amount is for. So if he can't show that to the judge, you might get treble damages.
But here's the problem. On the $750, now, if he went and replaced one post, I'm not saying it's worth $750, but Mark, it's worth something. What is it worth, Mark?
It's a couple $100.
Yeah. So your loss is going to be down to like $500 or so.
Right.
So the smaller it gets, the more pain in the ass it is. And that's why I think he's doing it. What's the name of this company?
Melendez Contracting. He's got a couple different companies. He's got a concrete company. It's down here in the Highlands Ranch area.
How'd you pay him? Did you write him a check?
No, I did Venmo, and as far as I know, I can't reverse that. So.
Okay. Listen, man.
So I have no problem taking. I'm retired. I have lots of time. I'm gonna. This is.
Yeah, but I want to try to call him. Do you have a number?
I do. Hang on just a minute here. It is 303.
Hold on.
704.
Hold on. 704. Yeah.
7934.
Hey, Suze, get ready to pick this up in case he answers. Let's see, Jim, because he might be ghosting everyone. I think my caller ID says, Tom Martino out to get your ass or something like that, so it might be a red flag. Let's see.
Please leave your message for...
You have reached Melendez Contracting. It's currently unavailable to answer the phone right now.
Please leave a detailed message and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Mr. Melendez, this is Tom Martino. We're on the radio right now because Jim called in, and he's kind of upset that you only did one fence post, and you were paid $750 down, and he wants you to finish the job, or he wants at least some of his money back for the unfinished work, or we're going to pursue this through the authorities, and I don't think you want that. Can you give me a call back, 303-MARTINO? It's 303-627-8466. Sir, this is not a joke. You can find this on Facebook or YouTube or iHeart on the podcast. Yes, so don't ignore us, please. All right, so let's see what that does, Jim, and then call us back in a couple days, will you?
I will do that. You made my day, Tom Martino.
All right, you just call back, though. Make sure, and you can use 303-MARTINO, too, and get right through.
Trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with Zip. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of pay, ZipRecruiter finds you a needle in a haystack.
Meanwhile, 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get quality candidates.
Going back to DU, though, I think that's a better school, though, don't you, for a law degree?
Well, it's harder to get
Harder
into,
to get.
way more expensive.
Right, but she got accepted there, right?
Rocky Mountain IV Medics is a place you can
go for IV
therapy.
therapy. Well, when I say go, I don't mean go. I mean they come to you. That's what I love about them. And you don't pay any more than you would an IV therapy, IV bar. And you have medical professionals under a doctor's direction. You can text for same-hour appointments. I have it done every 3 weeks. I love Rocky Mountain IV Medics. For dehydration, vitamin deficiencies, for the flu, for anything that's ailing you, IV is one of the most common therapies. RockyMountainIVMedics.com, 720-987-2155. Now let's talk about something that is a must with any insurance problem. You know, Genesis over here, they do all of your insurance stuff on one invoice. They do a lot of insurance damage. And they'll tell you they don't mind working with public adjusters because they don't have to fight with insurance companies. Let the public adjusters do it for what you really need. You know, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado will get you what you need. They'll get you the money that is rightfully yours, where your insurance company may try to deny it. Please, with any insurance claim, Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado will look at it free of charge, no matter what it is, and they'll let you know what they can do for you. If they take the case, they're going to get you more money you ever could get on your own, and that is the way to go. I would never do a claim without them. Public Insurance Adjusters of Colorado, COClaims.com, COClaims.com, 720-715-0000. A lot of people want some extra cash, and they don't realize it, but they have it sitting all over their house. Really, do you have any old chains, gold, silver? Do you have any old earrings, mismatched pairs? Do you have old coin collections, just garbage sitting around? Most of us do. Take it to David Ellis Jewelry at 3rd and Clayton. David Ellis, the place to go to cash in all of your stuff and get money. He weighs it and pays it, and it's a local name, a local company, someone you can trust. DavidEllisJewelry.com, 3rd and Clayton. Just stop by or call first, 303-322-8779. That's David Ellis Jewelry. You know, some of these places that advertise actually want you to mail this stuff without ever knowing who they are. Mail it away and hope you get your money, or meet people at hotel rooms. Don't do that. David Ellis Jewelry, 3rd and Clayton. That's David Ellis, 303-322-8779.
What's done more to improve?
Heard back from DU yet, or DUCU. But I can't imagine, just based on her LSATs and her GPA, that it's going to be an issue. I think DU is a little, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, when we were up there yesterday, their average class size, there's like 12 people. in the classroom. I mean, it's fucking unbelievable, man. You have full access to the professors like all the fucking time. It's a Monday through Thursday schedule. I don't know. I don't know. So, like I said, it'll be up to her.
Sleep deeper, snore better, and stay.
I still might get going. DU might still get money from DU too.
DU is actually way easier to get into than CU. CU's harder. CU's a lot cheaper.
Well, yeah, there's that weird problem.
But yeah, DU, I'm sure, is a better law school, period. But I don't know. Then you got to really define that. If you look at graduation and placement, Wyoming's way the fuck up there. The other thing is, it's not a big. I don't think she'd ever go to CU. She fucking can't stand liberals, and I don't think she could live in Boulder. I really don't. I think she'd go fucking crazy.
So no matter what law school she goes to, though, she's going to encounter liberal bullshit.
Well, Wyoming is not. You know how many people are in the class? 75.
Wow.
75 fucking people.
That's awesome.
I had a friend that went to law school in Wyoming. And
there's only one.
Well, yeah, Laramie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I think she really liked, you met the fucking dean. I guarantee when we do the walkthrough with DU, I'm not going to meet the fucking dean.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Plenty of sunshine, but still.
And I agree, most law schools are going to be super liberal, but, she asked the questions like, do you guys block people from talking on campus? And they say, we don't put up with any of that shit. If we have speakers, they come. We don't have students. It doesn't matter if they're undergrads or whatever. We don't have that protesting bullshit. If anybody goes out, we'll kick their fucking ass out of here. I mean, they just don't play those games. So,
that's nice.
Laramie is the bluest part of the state, though.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Mark Szymanski, we were talking to a Genesis Total Exteriors. We were talking about getting tax credits for windows and even some energy efficient siding or for doors for insulation. If you do it along with a solar system, you can actually extend beyond the contract if it's all in one contract and get additional tax credits. So, Mark, as far as additional tax credits, I mean, have you had a lot of people take advantage of this?
Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, why not? Again, you got to check with your CPA so you make sure that you qualify. But yeah, I mean,
now why wouldn't you qualify?
Well, again, number one, it could be if you're
not paying tax.
Not paying taxes, correct?
Right. I mean, a tax credit literally comes off the price you pay in taxes. I mean, it's a direct write-off.
Correct.
Or a refund. So it's really incredible.
It's like cash, basically.
Yeah. Now, they used to have those on electric cars. They still do for some, but once the manufacturer reaches a certain number of units, Mark, they take that away.
That's right.
So in any case, I think that they're not going to take away solar, not with the push to be green right now.
Not at the moment. 2030 right now, all our coal power plants in Colorado are scheduled to be decommissioned. That's
what?
8 years away. Yeah.
8 years away.
8 years away.
They're going to do away with coal power plants. They should go to nuclear. I don't want to get into that right now because people think it's bad. It's not. I think it's one of the best. 303-713-TALK. We have Mark Szymanski with us. He's from Genesis Total Exteriors or Genesis Solar. GenesisSolarCO.com. Jesse, what's going on with you? Jesse.
Hey, thanks for taking my call today.
Yes, what's happening?
Love your guys' show.
Thank you, Jesse.
So, thank you. I purchased a vehicle back in January, and I'm just going to say what happened.
What kind of car or vehicle? What kind of vehicle?
It's a 2014 Nissan Pathfinder.
Okay, they're cool.
4-wheel drive. Yeah, I like them. On Monday, I was going to Denver actually to take it into the one of the dealer places to have it checked, and my front wheel snapped off in the middle of the freeway.
What? What side? What side?
The front driver's side.
The front left wheel just came off?
Yes.
Now, was
Thankfully, it got stuck under my wheel.
Was it the tire and wheel? In other words, the axle and stuff was still there, right? Then the hub.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not much of a car person, but I don't know what a hub
Well,
is,
what I mean is where it screws onto, it was still intact.
The tire and the rim were completely separate, and the bolts. The tow truck guy found like 5 of the 6 or 4 of the 5.
Were they sheared off?
Possibly. I couldn't see it because they took it. They took my car off to the side of the road, and they didn't let me get out of the car until.
Now, did you have any since January? Did you have anything done to that car? Any service?
Yeah. So when we test drove the car, everything seemed fine. We were driving around the block with the guy with us, and everything was good. We got it up to 50 miles an hour, and we said, we'll take it. They said, well, we still haven't done inspections yet. The car just came here, so let's do inspections. They found a hole in the gas tank, and then they said, okay, you can come pick up the car. We replaced it. So I took it off the lot, and as we're driving back home, because I live in Colorado Springs, the front right side, front left side wheel was making like a rubbing sound. And so I called them and I said, there's like a rubbing sound, and that wasn't there when we test drove it. So they said, bring it back. And they took a look at it. And what they did was they changed the front struts, stabilizer links. They said were worn, creating vibration. They transferred coil springs and strut isolators onto new struts.
Well, man, you got a lot of work done on an as-is car, didn't you?
Sure did. I didn't get. They didn't charge me, thankfully. So they did all that, and they said, okay, you can pick up the car. I pick it up. I'm driving home. I got to get to work, and it's still rubbing. So I said, it's still rubbing. Can I actually take it in and to have a mechanic with me to show him, what I'm dealing with? So I brought it back, and sure enough, it was making a rubbing sound as you brought it up, like past 30 miles an hour up to 50. And
even after they did all that front end work. All right. So then what happened?
Yeah.
And that was when? February or when?
That was in January.
All right. Still January. Okay. So bring us to today. Anything else?
Okay. So then after I brought it back the second time, I did tell him, because I had a friend that's kind of a mechanic, and he said, I think it's the wheel bearings. So I told the mechanic up there, saying, we think it's the wheel bearings. And so we tested it, and he's like, yeah, it's probably wheel bearings. So they actually replaced the wheel bearings, and it seemed fine when I got it back. So now come to today. So that was all in January. So now it's now. And I was taking my kids to school, and I'm noticing it's making kind of another like knocking, like almost a rubbery knocking noise. And so I called my friend. I said, can you take a look at my car? And so we got under there. We didn't use any tools, but he propped it up, and we're moving the wheel, and we're hearing noise coming from inside the transmission. And he said, I think it's the CV axle, because as you press on the gas, it would go away, and as you release, it would kind of make knocking noises, and it would go faster or slower depending on your speed. And so I was like, well, I have a lifetime warranty on the power train with this company. And so he said, why don't you just take it up? So I made an appointment, and I was taking it up on Monday because they said to bring it up to another closer place, but it was still up on Arapahoe up in Denver.
And that's when it happened.
As I'm going.
That's when it happened.
Yeah, I was going.
I get it.
Leaving Colorado Springs. Yep.
Okay. But I don't know if they can be held responsible for that.
Okay. Because I talked to Total Care Auto, that's the company that they use for their warranty, and they said, well, since they were the last ones who touched it mechanically, they should be responsible.
Well, that's not true at all. That's not true at all, Jesse. It's only if they did something wrong. Now, of course. And it depends on what failed. You haven't determined, or you haven't told me what failed. I asked you, did the bolts shear off? You said, I don't know. Did the bolts come loose? Did the nuts come loose? I don't know. Did the hub come off? I don't know. I mean, we need to know more, Jesse. We need to know what happened to it. Like where's your car right now?
Yeah. I had it towed to a collision center down here in the Springs.
Okay,
so
what damage was done? What damage?
Well, obviously the whole front tire's off, and then the side panel of the car is damaged, and I think maybe the hood and underneath the wheel well.
Well, you have insurance, you know.
I do. So before I called the insurance, I wanted to just verify because based on what one guy said was, since they mechanically touched it last.
Listen. Okay, Jesse, that's not true at all.
Yeah.
Just because someone touched it, they're responsible. Don't go by that. But that doesn't mean they're not either. Here's what you need that you do not have: an analysis of what happened. You don't even know what happened. So how can you determine who's responsible? What if it was a road hazard? Would that person who touched it be responsible? Of course not. What did your friend ever remove anything to examine it? Ever? No?
No.
Okay.
No,
So Jesse, listen. Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Your truck right now, or car, excuse me, it is whatever it is, SUV. It's at a body shop. Okay? Have they determined the cause of the failure?
No, that was just a location to put it.
All right,
they don't
you need to call someone. You need to call someone like SOS Inspections. Where are you located?
Okay. Colorado Springs.
He doesn't go to the Springs. No.
Just get it over to Honest Accurate. Get it towed over there.
Honest Accurate Auto can tell you how that happened and why it happened, or try to.
Okay.
But listen, I'm gonna warn you about something. If there is no apparent reason it happened, you can't automatically nab those guys. Now, there's a good possibility. Now, if the nuts came loose, they didn't torque them properly.
Or over-torqued.
Whatever. But first, before we make any decision, we have to know what happened.
And how much damage are you talking about if all they have to do is pound new studs in and then put the wheel back?
No, he said the whole front end.
It's just all messed up.
So how much damage? How much is it going to cost?
I haven't gotten an estimate. I'm stuck at the beginning of, like, where do I even take the car?
Honest Accurate.
Well, listen, Honest Accurate Auto, hold on. They're not going to fix it. They're going to, not the body work.
No, but they can get it mechanically ready to go over to a body shop.
Right. Now, what you have to determine, though, is why it happened. And if you can't, the burden of proof is on you. The mere fact that they worked on it is not proof.
Okay.
Who was the dealer?
Larry Miller Jeep up in Aurora.
Okay.
And they worked on it for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything
has been up in
Did you call them and tell them what happened?
I did.
What did they say? What did they say?
Yep. The manager said, kind of the same thing. That doesn't mean we're responsible. I mean, somebody could have tried to take your wheel, steal the wheel, and left the bolts, off.
That's ridiculous.
That's about as far as I got.
That's asinine to say that, though. I mean, what is that?
Do me a favor, Jesse. One step at a time.
Yes,
one step at a time.
Okay.
You need to get it fixed no matter what. So Honest Accurate Auto, I would get the mechanical part done and have them take pictures and verify why it happened. If they don't know why, you're going to have a problem. That's all I can tell you. Get back to us after you talk to an expert there.
Mark, check your email.
630K available everywhere. That's me.
No.
Number one for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Now, in traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. It's a good drive right now in the metro area. The highways are accident-free, so...
Now, years ago, I was at the Highlands Ranch Park Ride. It's an RTD lot back then. And I had a Jeep and it had pretty shiny wheels on it. So he left all. Someone tried to steal them. They couldn't get it off. But I come back, I get off the bus, I go to my car, start driving it. It was making all this noise. It was weird. Very weird.
We had a couple wheels off in my day. We had one we got real lucky, man. The guy turned right off Peoria, right on the on-ramp to I-70. It popped off. I was like, man, thank God that didn't come off on the fucking highway.
Yeah.
There was almost no damage.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. We had one of our work vans that happened too.
Really?
Let's talk about the Liquid
Loan. TheLiquidLoan.com. That is the loan that is a deed of trust on your home like a regular loan, but it's a 30-year line of credit. So here's how it works. If you're buying a home and you, so let's say, have a $400,000 mortgage, that's what will be on this line of credit. Now, you can pay simple interest if you're only going to be there a few years. Have very low payments, like $1,200 or something like that. Seriously. Now, let's say after a couple of years you say, you know, hon, let's stay here. Then you can pay interest. Principal. You can pay principal anytime you want, any amount you want. And then let's say you get into a jam and you need some money. You can borrow money back. Just borrow it back because it's a line of credit. You can borrow even more than your original loan if you have equity. And here's the greatest part of all. Your normal money you have in the bank will offset the balance of that loan, which means you pay even less interest. You got to find out more about this. It's an incredible loan. TheLiquidLoan.com. TheLiquidLoan.com. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. I love when companies are run the right way, and you've heard me say this about Excel Roofing. Jay and his team do it the right way. I don't know of any other roofers that operate this way. First of all, their estimates are complete, listing all materials and labor that you need. So you know what to ask your insurance company. And you know what else they do? They don't take a penny. They don't take a cent until you're content. And they have a project manager for each and every job that personally communicates with you. So whether it's a roof repair or entire roof replacement, or you just need it looked at, call excelroofing.com. Free roof inspections. 303-761-6400. 303-761-6400. That's excelroofing.com, as in excellent. In business for a very long time, I think since since 93 it is. And they have thousands of satisfied customers, including me. 303-761-6400. Welcome to Mi Casa Castro.
It's getting hard out there when folks that you think are homeless turn down your money and your food.
How's that?
Huh?
How do they turn it down?
Yesterday I was over at trying to get my phone fixed, and this guy is coming along there, and he looks pretty tragic to me. And he spoke. I spoke back. How you doing? We exchanged greetings, and I looked at him, and we were talking. I reached in my pocket and said, "Man, I got $2. Would you like them?" And he looked at me just like you looking at me and said, "No, I'll let you keep them. Maybe you should find somebody that is a little bit more needy than me." I said, "Okay."
So in other words, you insulted the poor man. How about if I walked up and tried to hand you $2?
Look, the Democrats are blaming the big oil companies for high gas prices.
Of course it's their fault. It's also Trump's fault. And Bush.
And the president before him, and the president that'll be next, and
Trump had the lowest gas prices in history, or at least since 1980.
That's right. And the highest stock market, and the best employment. More minority-owned businesses ever,
and
employees,
and the stinkiest hands.
So now you have non-stinky hands, and you have
tons
of small businesses out of business.
We got non-stinky hands, but we got a lot of long hairs on our face because we like to smell it.
Just a few people coming across the border too.
Just one.
Oh my God! And he's getting rid of that section. Hey, did you see that email?
Which one?
I just sent you an email. Check it out.
I don't. It's not. I got a new phone. I haven't got emails for the phone yet. So.
Oh my God! Are you still doing indoor stuff?
Yeah.
They reached out for a full bid a week ago. They haven't heard back. That's what they're asking.
Oh, so I'll figure it out this afternoon.
Okay.
So.
Holy shit, I've never seen this one.
Investigates the alarming death of a young woman who dreamed of a career in law enforcement.
Today's pint day. Did you guys know that?
Pint day. We want to get beer after work.
It's pint day. You get a glass.
Get it here. Well,
we should have had in. God damn it! We should have had in what's his face?
Rock and Roll Beer.
Rock and Roll Brewery. Steve and I had a few samples that day he was out.
Man, left side.
Tom, I think Tom was more like a kindergarten teacher.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK is our number. Let's go right to the phones. We do have with us Genesis Total Exteriors if you have any questions. Now, on this, Linda has an update on her Hummer. Linda, you had called about your Hummer, and I think we assigned someone to work on this. Can you...
No, not yet. I was supposed to get some more information.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Now I remember. Go ahead.
And pardon me, Tom.
Yes.
She
Anyway,
actually also
Mark
came on Friday and talked to Mark after
and
talking
Kevin
to you
both.
last week.
Okay, so what is the situation, Mark? Do you remember with this Hummer?
I remember her for sure. The problem is the head screwed up no matter how we look at it. Apparently she brought it to a dealership. They sold her on getting some spark plugs.
It was an 07, right? And
it's an H3.
She said that one of the cylinders was cracked.
Yeah, and we had Kevin on. Did you get it over? Did Kevin look at it? Where did we leave it off?
No, we had left. I had told him I wanted to talk to a manager, so the manager called me on Thursday, service manager, and told me that he was going to look into it. He didn't know the whole situation and get back to me.
Yeah.
So he called me. He called me Saturday morning, and he told me that he was going to have the intake manifold taken off and look at the valves. And so he said he'd get back to me. So that was Saturday, and I never heard anything. Finally, yesterday, I get another text, and now they're saying the first estimate was $10,600. Now the second estimate is $7,500, and he's saying that the cylinder head with valves, timing chain guides, and intake.
Yeah, but Linda, there's 70,000 miles. That's not a lot. But we have to determine why.
Kevin was saying it would be very unlikely that they didn't create this issue.
That they did not create it.
No, that they most likely did create it.
Oh, really?
Unlikely that they did it.
I drove it in there, Tom, and there was nothing wrong with it. It ran fine, even when their sales guys.
No check engine light on.
You had
there was nothing. No, nothing on it.
I get it. You took it in there for regular service. It came out with a cracked cylinder. I get it. Okay, now it's going to cost you a lot of money, and they're not taking responsibility, right? Okay, did they cause it? Did Kevin look at it, or did he say, what did Kevin say? They were removing spark plugs. Is that right?
Yeah, Kevin said if that head was cracked, she would have known it. There was no way they wouldn't have not known that head was cracked no matter what.
Okay, then what we have to do is tell them such. What is the name of the place? Maroney is where it was?
Yep.
Or Maroney as they go. And where is it? Which Maroney?
Colorado Springs North.
Okay. We need to call Colorado Springs.
Well, we got it. You're going to have to get you're going to have to get another expert to look at this. I mean, someone's got to look at it. Kevin saying the likelihood of them not doing it is one thing, but we've got to have someone, I'll say honest, accurate again. Someone's got to
but what does she do?
Validate what's going on.
That's true. You need some. We can't just go accusing Maroney of doing this without some kind of.
It's all right. I don't mind calling over there. I don't mind having someone call over there to see what they're saying, but it's insane. It still has to be torn apart.
Suze, how are the cases doled out right now?
Well, I'll have to check with Marty and Ken.
I wish we had an SOS or an Auto MDs down there.
Well, I know. We need one. We need a diagnostic center like...
A mobile unit down there that can go out and look at stuff.
like we have up here, Linda.
I'd be willing to pay SOS if he wants to come down here.
You know what? Let's ask him if he'd go down and do a favor, because he would do he goes to court on analysis.
He'd have to charge you $400 or $500.
No, he wouldn't. Nah. Let's ask him. Norris, are you listening, bro?
6 hours.
Let's ask him. It's Colorado Springs, Mark. It's not the moon.
It's still 6 hours round trip, I bet, for him.
Mark, 6 hours. My God.
Okay, where do you...
6 hours of drive time.
I bet no, not of drive time, for the whole job. It's 6 hours out of his day is what I'm guessing.
Let's find out, Norris. Let's just ask him, okay? Let's ask him. And then, does Honest Accurate do any mobile stuff at all? Can he go over there?
Set up for it.
Hold on, and we'll figure it out. Well, at least we should start by calling Maroney. And by the way, Linda, did you ever say to Maroney, did you ever say to them, hey, you guys, you did it?
Well, yeah, I said to the manager both times, I don't understand. I drove it in there. It was running good. Your sales guy drove it. I don't know how. I don't understand how this could have been a problem of mine. And they won't answer me. I said, I don't understand.
All right.
How could it have been my fault? And they just evade my question. He never says, never.
You know what,
me.
though, Linda? I wouldn't have them fix it anyway.
I don't trust it.
No, so
But
here's
the
what
thing
I'm
of it
saying.
is,
Here's what I'm saying.
I think they pay for having it done.
Okay.
Get it over to Honest.
That's what I'm saying. Call Honest Accurate Auto. They will tow it to their place and do a diagnostic. Then you don't have to pay Norris to go down there from SOS Inspections. Because here's why, Linda. No matter what, you want Honest Accurate Auto to do the fixing, no matter what, because they're honest and accurate, and they're part of our referral list at referralist.com. Then once they determine what's wrong, at least we will have a basis for small claims court if you have to get it fixed from them and pay them. So let's start there.
And
Suze, give her that number.
I don't know why they couldn't do a full rebuild for that price either, is the other deal. We're not talking about a big diesel engine. It's a
That's why we need to get Honest Accurate Auto or one of our experts on it. That's the very next step.
Bastards.
That's right.
Mark, can you do those two?
I can do whatever you want, sir.
Mark's going to do those two and use his button.
Who are they?
to do some stuff.
Who are they? Frank and who?
Frank and Blake Harris. Thank you.
What is it? 844
833 Ask Blake or BlakeHarrisLaw.com.
I-25, your speeds open up and no other problem spots as you work your way south towards the Lone Tree area. C470 looks good. No reported delay. Accidents on I-225. Fox 31, pinpoint weather, partly cloudy, windy, and dry today. A high reaching 51. Tonight's low 30. And then for tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 56. Currently, it's 43. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Chris McLaughlin, 630 K-How.
DQ presents, picture this. You stand before the new signature stack burger menu at DQ. 5 cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef, like the loaded A1 stack burger. And your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? DQ. Happy tastes good.
How about having one of the best negotiators that walks this planet help you sell your house? How about if he does almost 99% of the work? How about if he gets you more than what you were asking for? More importantly, what if he gets you more than any other realtor can get you? Well, that's the guy I use, the guy Tom uses, Frank Duran, the real estate man. This guy is an angel sent from heaven to help you sell your house. You need to contact him. In fact, he'll do a free evaluation, and I'm not kidding. He'll tell you exactly what he can sell that house for, and there's no pressure. It'll just give you an idea what your property's worth. Check him out at frankduranhomes.com. That's frankduranhomes.com. How about a law firm that gives you an honest upfront price? An honest price. They don't charge you $300, $400 an hour. Let's say you want a will or a trust or you need a power of attorney. How about a medical directive, a beneficiary's deed? Anything that has to do with your legacy, asset protection, lawsuit prevention, that is the Blake Harris Law Firm. And like I started this off, he doesn't charge by the hour. You know how he charges? A flat rate, and he tells you exactly what it is up front. I want a trust done. He'll talk to you. He'll tell you how much. I want a simple will. He'll tell you how much. The Blake Harris Law Firm. Call him at 833-ASK-BLAKE. That's 833-ASK-BLAKE.
What's up? There are lots of places to get national news, but for the local stories that affect you most, count on Newsbreak's new email newsletter. Right now, listeners of this show will be entered for the chance to win $1,000 when they sign up for Newsbreak's
Wyoming's requirement on vaccines?
I don't think they have one.
Why do you ask? Because DU makes you do full.
Oh, she might not like that at all.
Yeah, so both my boys, CSU and V, and they both have to be fully vaccinated.
What?
Including the boosters.
Here's the other thing. Up there in Wyoming, I'm kind of, I think the school's better for her. I'm just a little more guarded with her because she's so young. I mean, their average student's 27, she's 19.
Right.
I'll buy her a fucking house up there, and then I'll just sell it in 3 years. I mean, if I could buy it right and it all works out. But I'm not worried about property values going to shit up there. It's cheap as shit. Or just get her a really killer nice apartment somewhere. She'll have her car. That's not going to happen at CU or DU. I ain't buying any property. I ain't spending $1 million on a fucking shack in Boulder. No way. Nor will I own property in Boulder. You get a nice fucking place up there. A nice, pretty new townhome. I'm not going to get her somewhere there's any maintenance, but a nice townhome or a condo for, brand new shit, 300 to 400, 1,700 square feet, brand new, cheap HOA.
Right.
It's just so weird being up there. It's so different than around here.
That's crazy.
You know what does suck, though? Suzanne brought this up. You guys remember what happened there in Laramie, don't you? It was one of the worst fucking hate crimes ever.
Yeah, with that guy.
Fucking Matthew Shepard.
It was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Tied to a fence with it, right?
Tied him to a fucking truck and drug him around, then tied him to a fence, I think. Fucking assholes, man.
Yeah, that's just so.
They exist.
Fuck, that was horrible, man.
They exist.
Well, of course. Why do they exist? Because that's human nature. They're terrible people.
They're terrible people, and human nature, I think, is not one of the best things going on. But those people, I can't call their actions.
You know what? Here's the
naturally
deal. We're better than other animals, though.
Really?
What do you mean, Mark? I don't know.
I mean, we're better than
cruelty. No, we do.
Animals jump in the river to save people.
The job must get done. And you're the one.
I still say we're better than other animals. Most other animals.
With what respect? I mean,
we're smarter, therefore we can make intelligent and non-intelligent, but intelligent
you're digging a hole.
decisions.
You're digging a hole.
No, I mean, really, if you think about, think about something. Give me an animal. I don't give a fuck what it is. A bear. A bear will eat whatever the fuck a bear wants to eat. We don't go around just killing shit like a bear does.
Elephant.
A fucking elephant. I don't know. I don't know shit about elephants.
I watched a video of an elephant walking this way, saw somebody in the river, it looked like they were drowning, turned and went in the river, and literally...
I know, we hear that shit about, dolphins. There'll be some guy, getting ready to be attacked by sharks, and the dolphin grabs him and takes him away.
No,
that's some fucked up, that's some flipper shit, man.
Well, that's the most dismissive person I know over there.
I refuse to be wrong in my fucking analogy.
That's right.
Flipper shit.
He's over there talking flipper.
No, I wasn't talking flipper.
That's funny.
Denver's Talk Station, 630 KNOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Mark Szymanski's with us from Genesis and talking construction or solar, whatever you need. Tony, you have a question. What's happened? Oh, we called Panacea, and we're going to have him on in a few minutes. He wanted to know about the THC free and a CDL driver's license. Will it show up? Will he have problems? Amelia, you want to talk about... Hi, Amelia. What's going on?
Hi. I want to make a complaint against a moving company called White Glove.
Now, how did you find them?
I found them on the web, on the Google.
And where?
And
Okay.
I checked their bids.
White Glove Moving. Okay, I need to know a few things. Where are they headquartered?
In Florida.
Yeah, so I knew that. They're going to be a ripoff no matter what. Almost every single moving company in Florida is a ripoff. And let me guess. You got a bid over the phone.
Yeah.
And then after you got a bid on the phone, they came. Did the guy that came to pick it up say it would be more and he charged you a little more?
No, what happened is that they sent me a written proposal, which I have to sign because I have to give a down payment, which I did. It was $1,000.
Okay.
And then they told me that the inspection was going to be a week before the moving. And in the meantime, I have called and talked to Charlie on 325.
Did you ever get the stuff picked up?
No, the moving was going to be Saturday. I didn't. I canceled it before because.
So you paid him. Wait. So you paid $1,000 down for nothing.
Yeah.
Well, she made out like a bandit compared to most.
Yeah. You know what? That's probably right. You probably lost less than most others. How did you make the $1,000 down payment?
By I think it was sale. I don't remember.
No, like credit card or what?
How to pay it? How did you?
Maybe what with the credit card? Yes, credit card.
Amelia, they're not going to come on Saturday, are they?
No. Yeah. No. You cancel. I canceled it already.
Do me a favor, Amelia. What kind of credit card did you pay it with?
I think it was Visa.
You got to. Did you call Visa and contest the charge and say it was a scam?
I will do that today.
Amelia, that's what you have to do.
I'd go a step further. I have no idea what you digitally signed or what you did. And honestly, this is what I do. I'd say, I don't know what this charge is, never seen it, never heard about it. I wouldn't bring up the company name. I wouldn't bring up moving. I would simply say, someone charged this on my card and I have no idea what it is.
Ditto. And that company can never prove it was you. Ditto.
And they'll send you a new card.
Amelia, please do that. These people are ripoffs. Now, I have to say this, and I'm going to say it again. We have never once, not once, since I've been doing the show, not once has there been a mover out of Florida that has been legit. Not once. Not once.
She actually,
in 40 years. In 40 years.
Got lucky.
When you call or you email from the internet and they are located in Florida, it will be a ripoff. It will absolutely, positively be a ripoff.
Most are in $5 or $6 grand deep, and they don't have their stuff. No stuff and $6 grand missing. That's the norm.
I can go over the basic steps of how it works. What's really amazing is I tried to warn people on Nextdoor. I got so much hell saying I wasn't telling the truth and I don't know what I'm talking about. And since then, dozens of people have fallen for it because they didn't listen. If you want to truly listen and be protected, stay tuned. I'll give you the basic steps very quickly coming up.
They're MOs. They're mofos. But according to Talib, most tigers are probably better than Florida movers, right?
Of course. That would be according to Tom.
Okay. This is a new one. We've never seen this brewery. Crossed? It's in Highlands Ranch.
No, it's no, we did the remodel of that.
This one, the red?
Yeah, and it was before that. It was
a pizza joint.
It was the fire. Yeah.
And before that, it was a pizza joint.
The pizza joint. Yeah, it was fire. Something. It was a fire station pizza or something.
Yeah, it was wood-fired pizza.
Yeah, we did that one too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
but you did this build-out?
Yeah, we did that build-out.
Is it nice inside?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's German, right?
I didn't do the whole thing. Just a brewery. I haven't tried the beer.
Is it a true brewery? They got the brewery shit?
Yeah.
Really?
We just did the
Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter, mornings at 10, streaming live on our free iHeartRadio app and at khow.com.
They've been open for 3-4 months.
ABC News, I'm
We just never go down.
President Biden says Russia's continued attacks in Ukraine and reports of what he calls war crimes have triggered another round of sanctions from the U.S. and its allies.
I'm going to sign an executive order that's going to ban any new
Oh,
U.S.
shut the
investment
fuck
in
up.
Russia.
This round also targets family members of Vladimir Putin. The Justice Department and FBI say they dismantled a militia.
This might mean my son can no longer do business in Russia, but we're going to do it anyhow with a few exceptions, one of those being my son.
Hospitalizations are no longer projected to decline. Radio host Alex Jones is in Connecticut facing questions by attorneys for the families of Sandy Hook Elementary School victims.
Holy shit.
Last week, a judge
Wow,
ordered
we
Jones
just
was
talked about
liable
Sandy
to
Hook.
stand trial and would face escalating daily fines until he appeared for a deposition. Relatives of victims are suing Jones for defamation after he falsely claimed the shooting massacre never happened.
That was weird, man. That dude is fucking weird.
I've had him on my show.
What the fuck's wrong with him? He said it was like a government conspiracy to try to get rid of guns. It never happened. So none of these kids died. It's just what were all those bodies and funerals and shit then? That's a hell of a made-up deal. That motherfucker, he's one of these guys that sells the goddamn buckets of food, too.
The new policy will require officers to repeatedly knock
You can buy like, a 5-gallon bucket of macaroni and cheese for $99. Or you can go to Costco and get the same shit for fucking 12.
seconds for those executed at night. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
New questions surrounding a decades-old mystery involving Charles Darwin's...
What are those people called?
Cambridge University.
They live out there and they have enough food to eat for years in underground bomb shelters and shit. Preppers.
And word on who took them or who returned them.
You a prepper, Mark?
ABC News.
The Mutual Insurance Company presents.
Then contact you should go with the end.
I know. I'll just take out the cup and
Come back out of my bomb shelter and like, okay, I'm gonna come out because I'm running out of food, but it's all nuclear waste out there.
So you only pay for what you need.
I'll just come out in the sun.
Look at this text I just got, Tom, like 5 seconds. Look at this.
You really best it out very easy. Only pay for what you need.
I sold, that company has not done any business for 9 years, and I just got it.
It's that time of year.
Click on it.
In full swing,
Yeah, right.
And explosions of light make allergies really.
One of my companies from 9 years ago just qualified for a $300,000 loan.
His nose is angry and red. So keep
I get those phone calls.
all your blows.
I fucking hate bullshit calls. I know you look at your phone, you go, fuck, I know it's going to be something. And then you still answer it, and sure enough, you get fucked more than you don't.
Yeah, and then they must tell everybody because then all of a sudden you're getting 20 more phone calls. He picked up. Call now.
It's a real person.
Yeah, I'd be sorry when they did me that.
Yeah.
I'd walk them around the yard.
I've done that. But I'm afraid that, just like Mark said, then they're going to tell everybody. One lady in Colorado Springs, it might have been a dude, fucked with one of those scammers calling her. He fucking spoofed her number, called fucking Colorado Springs police, saying the wife was getting beat, held by gunpoint. They sent fucking SWAT out, swatted the guy's house, almost fucking killed him.
Whoa.
That shit's fucking fucked up. Almost got the guy killed.
Wow. Examined the Biden administration's priorities for the implementation of the infrastructure law, and how its enactment addresses increasing wildfire threats.
The reality that we are living with throughout the Rocky Mountain West is that wildfires are no longer simply contained to a season. They are year-round.
They are, man. With this wind today, if we had anything light up, holy shit.
The boulder.
It would just be like that.
Yeah, there's going to be all kinds of new regulations coming out of siting and everything for the burn times in your house.
I got that F-wave shit, and then you guys painted my house. What is that? Is it hardy? It's something like that. I mean, it's hardy. Yep. It's tough as fucking nails.
Well, it will, but it's not
And then the roof is that F-wave. It's plastic, man. I mean, I think it would melt before it would catch on fire.
Yeah.
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, windy and dry today, a high of 51. Tonight's low 30, and then
I don't think like my metal building though. Fuck, it would still stand, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah, that'd be crazy. I guess in some of those fires, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We have to fireproof. We've been paid to paint intumescent paint on steel beams to give them a longer fire burn time.
On a steel beam.
On steel beams.
It's crazy.
A 5-story
Woodley's Fine Furniture, specializing in handcrafted.
I sold a bunch of servers back in the day to Zincor on Santa Fe, and they were building, I think, a Maristar. I mean, all they do is steel. And they were telling me about shit like that. And I just had no idea about this steel industry. Just no fucking clue.
Yeah, wow.
They just fabricate this shit, man, per the engineer's instructions.
But then when they put it together, we need longer burn, from one floor to the other. To slow that down, so puts about that big of paint on it. That's a non-burning. It's like $100 a gallon.
What's the worst on
What's the guy from Say Burnet's name? What's his name?
Brad
Hawkins. Hawkins?
Yeah.
I'm updating my sheet.
I mean, I know the old real wood shit, but outside of that, like,
does Buddy Mitchell have 2 L's at the end?
I don't. Yeah, I think so actually. And Karen with a Y. So you got the hardy board, you got like aluminum siding. That shit must melt pretty fucking quick. Old school shit. And then how about stucco?
Stucco's great.
It is good.
Yeah, you got a half inch for the concrete on the outside house. It's cheaper. I can put that on cheaper than I can put on LP or on hardy.
Yeah, okay.
I can stucco house cheaper on the side house.
Do a lot of people, can you stucco right, like someone's got old siding, can you stucco right over it?
Chicken wire it in 3 coats.
And it looks brand new. And I bet the rating is a lot better.
What's Rodolfo's name at Claims Pro? His first name, Rodolfo.
Troubleshooter Show.
That one I don't know.
Martino. Peter. Hey, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. This is brought to you by Claims Pro. You know, Claims Pro is they're public adjusters, and they're one of the public adjusters we highly recommend. If you look at referralist.com, you'll find public adjusters because we believe they're a must in today's world for protecting you against your insurance company when you have a claim. Don't ever do a claim alone. Claims Pro. It's publicadjuster.pro is their website, Claims Pro. 833-252-4600. 833-252-4600. And as I said, also on our referral list at referralist.com. All right. Dr. Jamie Baumgarten, we have a question for you from realcbdthatworks.com. We love Panacea Life Sciences. We love the products and the cosmetic line with the anti-inflammatory properties. Also, you have a non-THC line. It's called non-THC, and we get questions from time to time from pilots and CDL drivers. That's a commercial driver's license. Tony wants to know, hey, if I take that CBD THC-free product for my pain, will it show up THC in a blood test? Doctor or Jamie?
Yeah. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
So the 2 products that I have tested personally and gone in and actually taken a urinalysis test have been Fast and the daily 25 THC free. Both of those, if you take as directed, you will not test positive on a drug test. If that's still something that is of concern, we're launching a new product in about 6 weeks that is truly 0% THC. So there's a very low level in those 2 products. It's basically 1 drop in 2 bathtubs. It's parts per million. And the new product we're coming out with in about 6 weeks will be ultra safe, and it's basically 1 drop in like the size of Chatsworth Reservoir in terms of parts per trillion.
So what you're saying is people aren't going to get in trouble.
That's correct. If they take those two products, either one of those, as directed. So effectively 2 tablets per day or 2 soft gels per day.
Okay. Did you hear that? Do you have any questions, Tony?
No, I guess more or less I just contact information so I can get in touch with them when I'm ready.
All right. Listen, did he ask for contact information? Okay. Suze, can you give him Dr. Baumgarten's, Jamie's email off the air?
No, just where to buy it.
Oh, where to buy it. I'm sorry, Tony. Tony. RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com. And that's also PanaceaLife.com. I just have that. Yeah, and you can get it. And put Tom in the promo code, and you get 30% off. Dr. Baumgarten, thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it, from Panacea Life right here in Golden, serving the entire country. Smarty Marty is on now, Deputy Smarty Marty, with one of the problems he's helping us with. Now, Smarty, before we get into that problem, I sent you that other problem. You said you don't have any information. I sent.
No, I got it.
Okay, got it. I thought Sue was. Okay, good. All right, so this repossession thing. This is Alan. Go ahead, Alan. The original problem was called in about your car being repossessed, Alan?
Yes, my car was repossessed, and I went to Walmart to make a payment to get it out of repossession.
Yeah.
And, yes, they put the payment in a different account.
And here's what I thought. This was terrible because it was put in the wrong account, and therefore it's not going to be freed up again through cyberspace for a week. Meanwhile, the other place said, hey, you're going to get your car sold. And you said, wait a minute, I had the money to pay it off. So we thought you were being screwed by Walmart, and they should come through for you because they made the wrong payment to the wrong account. And you can see where they transposed the numbers. So, Smarty Marty, what progress did you make on this?
Well, we have determined that in order to keep Alan's car from going to auction, he has to come up with 50% of a payment as soon as possible. So, because we have to wait for Walmart to refund anyway, and we have to stop the sale of the car. So, what I understand is there is a charity account that you suggested.
Yeah, I thought we could make that small payment to keep his car from being repossessed. And you know, because you really were screwed on this, man.
How long does that, I mean, what is the $250 or whatever, how much time does it buy him, Marty?
7 days.
Okay, so 7 days from now, then what?
Then if
he has the money, he should have the money back from Walmart.
Yeah, we hope. Because Walmart screwed it up, man. He went to Walmart, and it was screwed. And I can't believe this was a 2019 Dodge Journey from Drive Time. He went with cash at Walmart, who sent it through check-free bill pay, but Walmart transposed the numbers. Bridgestone never got it. And this is terrible. And Bridgestone, listen, Bridgestone...
I think you sign all that, though. If you do a pay like that, you verify it and sign it. I mean,
I don't know.
Correct there? Point. Mark,
yeah,
that's what I was thinking myself, because I always like to double check myself if I was to do something with my bank account or
of course.
Account. I double check the
like
numbers.
When I wire money, they always ask me to verify it. But
not only that, you sign off on it.
Alan, did they ask you? Right. Alan, did they ask you to verify it?
There was on a computer. There was a screen that said verified, but it had the amount and who it was to.
It probably had listen.
I mean, it had an account number too. It must have had an account.
Well, no, but we're not going to hold it. I get that, man.
No,
I get.
No, we're trying to solve his problem.
Yeah.
For the moment, we have to stop the sale.
But for those listening, Smarty Marty, the point you're making is that when you verify information, it really should be a verification of information.
Yeah, and if it's a wire and you sign off on it, that's it. That's it, man. That money is gone.
It really is.
I personally would rather punch in the numbers myself if that was my option, because then I'm responsible.
But
anyway,
here's all I was saying, though. If we give them the $220 out of the charity account, are we sure Walmart is doing what they're supposed to do within 7 days? I just don't want to throw money out.
Whoa. Mark. It's not Walmart doing it. This is his finance company. This check is going to go to this money is going to his finance company. It's his finance company that is in charge of the repossession and the auction of the sale. And I was a witness to the conversation. So this is what they said. He's going to have 7 extra days.
Marty,
now, that doesn't.
Hey, Marty, real quick. I get what you're saying, but he missed just this one payment, and they repoed his car?
No.
Well, you have to ask Alan. There was
that's a whole different ballgame. That was a whole different ballgame. But it was legit. I already talked to him. I mean, the guy.
Let's fix it. Let's help him. And
so
Alan was supposed to get you the exact number because we spoke yesterday.
But at least you verified with the lender that they would hold off on repossession until he gets his for a week. Now, 7 days. Are you sure, Alan, you'll have your money back from Walmart by then?
That's what they said. Yes, and I have to go back to Walmart in order to get the money and resend it to Bridgestone with the correct account number.
Right now, it's about 4 days because this has been already a few days, right? So it's about 4 or 5 days from now.
Wait a minute. No, but hold on. Doesn't he get 7 days from the day we pay that?
No. We're talking about 2 different things.
Oh.
He'll get 7 days from the day you pay it, yes. And he's expected to get back this refund within now 4 or 5 days.
Okay, good.
So, that's it. And we want the exact amount, Alan. Because
did you get the exact amount, Alan?
I did, yes. I talked to them this morning, and they said there was no change in the status of the car, and that the price was the same to get it out of him.
How much? No. Here's what we're asking, Alan. How much do you have to pay to delay it?
$233.06.
And you're positive about that?
Yes, sir. I spoke to him this morning.
Okay. Suze,
we don't want it undercharged by a nickel.
Where are you, Alan, as far as physically in the city?
I'm in Wheat Ridge.
And do you have someone who can get you here to pick up a check from our charity account as a temporary loan to you until you get all your money settled and you get settled, and we can help other people with this? But do you have a way to get here?
Yes, I do.
All right. Suze will help coordinate that. I'd like to do it before the end of the show. Smarty Marty, are you working on anything else?
You just sent me something. I didn't read it yet, and I'll be working on it shortly.
Yeah, that one, by the way, holy crap. I think that one was really, it just bugged me a little here.
When are you back in town, man?
April 30th.
All right. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Anyway, the one about the HOA I sent you, it's crazy. Yes. The woman said she fell behind in 2020 due to the pandemic. And then when she made up all the fees in 2021, she not only paid 2021 in advance, but she also made an agreement that they would waive the late charges for 2020 due to the pandemic, and she paid all of 2020. Now they claim...
Was this agreement in writing? Did she have something in writing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, she has it. But they claim they lost the checks. She never made those check payments. So then she made them again in 2021, but now they're charging her late charges because she didn't make them in 2020. She says she did. They said they lost the checks, blah, blah, blah. I believe her, by the way. And why, but who knows? When you look into it, you'll find out. We have more coming up.
So if you buy a company asset.
Make a mighty difference for patients and families at Children's Hospital.
1 second, we're going to talk.
Early bird deadline is this Friday. Buy now at MightyMillionsRaffle.com.
I have an incredible thing to tell you about with Fix-It 24/7. The people I have at my home for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. and you can trust them. For $24, there's no gimmick here. For $24, they will have a qualified, insured, trained technician to your home to refurbish, extreme clean, and adjust either your furnace or AC, whichever one you want. You need both of them for the cooling season. $24. They'll go through the entire system, and you'll see the fix-it difference. I mean, they will do an extreme clean and check, and they will give you a no-breakdown guarantee. You do not want breakdowns during this time of inflation and hard-to-find parts. FixMyHome.com, 720-526-3939. As you know, reverse loans can be a valuable tool, and we send you to only the best when it comes to reverse loans, those who will give you the right information at the right time. Empower Reverse Mortgage is one of those lenders. Mark Massey is a great guy. Join the team. Let him help you, whether you need a lump sum of cash, a line of credit, maybe regular monthly payments. You'll never be upside down in a reverse loan. And more than 80% of the time, or 90% of the time, the house appraises way more than the balance anyway, and you still have equity. 832-3100. EmpowerReverse.com. 833-502-3100.
I'm going to tell you a true story that happened to me, and it's got the best ending ever. I called up my homeowner's insurance company, and I said, hey, I had a hailstorm. You need to come out, and let's get this roof moving. They came out, and they said, Mark, there's no damage up here. And I said, what, are you kidding me? That guy's getting a new roof over there. How does my roof have no damage and everybody else's does? They said, well, we don't know, but too bad, so sad, Mr. Major. So I called up Matt at Paragon Services. I told Matt this story. He came out. He saw the damage. He got involved. He got me $70,000. $70,000. No damage, turned into a check for $70,000. I want to thank Matt personally, and if you need any help with a claim, whether it's residential or commercial, if you think that insurance company is giving you the screw job, you need to call up Matt at Paragon Services, 719-726-0020. He works the entire Front Range. He's a public adjuster, 719-726-0020.
Ready for some good news?
So I've been wanting to see this movie, and it's playing nowhere. Nowhere. I love the premise of this. It's called Alice. It takes place in 1973. Okay, it's a brand new movie. It's a woman that escapes from a plantation in Georgia.
Done right.
Way after slavery, of course. She has no idea. The movie is nowhere. You can't find it in any fucking theater anywhere. You can't find it online. You can't find it anywhere. It's listed like on my AMC app, but when you go to the theaters, it's nowhere. There's not one playing anywhere. I love the premise of that. I'm wondering if if there's a bunch of slaves on this plantation in 1973 that literally have had no contact with the outside world.
Yeah.
No. I can find everything but where the movie's playing. Where can I see the movie? I can watch the trailers, all that shit. I just can't find any theater playing it.
Why is that?
I have no fucking idea. It's on my app, but you can't. There's not one theater showing it.
Well, is it out yet?
It's been out. In fact, it's leaving theaters soon.
Wow. It's already left.
Yeah, but there's never been in one. That's the part that's mind-blowing.
That kind of happens with movies like that.
I don't think it pulled a lot of great ratings, but I love the premise.
What is the movie,
fucking
Mark?
crazy?
Alice. And what is it about? I'm sorry.
It's about a slave that escapes a plantation in Georgia in 1973.
So it had generations of people born and raised there.
I'm guessing that had no idea that slavery was over, but I don't know.
It's supposed to be a true movie, or?
No, God, can you imagine?
Well, yeah. Well, something else that's based on a true story. You never know. It's like in the South.
That'd be so fucking crazy.
That would be.
Fuck.
I think people burn that fucking place down if that shit happened, man.
It's one of those things you have to have a clue that
This is Joe
shouldn't
Cordell
be
from
there.
Law Firm Cordell.
Yeah, but if you don't, if you were, God, man.
Yeah.
I always said if you took a kid and you gave birth, you give birth to the kid on an island, you could teach that kid anything. Oh, dragons fly over at night. The earth is flat. They would have no choice. There is nothing else but to believe.
Exactly. And then to like lose their mind.
Like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Remember, he's in the boat, he's going to escape, and then he hits that glass bubble. That is the fucking best part of that movie. But Jim Carrey's retiring, so.
Retiring? He's been retired forever.
That's what I said to Suzanne. I said, I don't know what the fuck he's done in the past 10 years. Besides hate Trump, he's really good at hating Trump.
Is he?
He's one of the best Trump haters I've seen.
Really?
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. The Avalanche became the first NHL team to return season.
See, Louis C.K. is uncanceled.
How?
He won an award the other night. He's back. In fact, he's here in Colorado right now, or he's going to be here real short. I'd go see him.
Are you sure he's not canceled?
Yeah, he's uncanceled. What's that?
I'm looking at
Download the top-rated draft.
It's fucking crazy, isn't it?
Today and use code
It looks good.
Pretty good premise.
Although you can make any movie good look good in 2 minutes.
when you sign up only.
She's got cool.
Kings Sportsbook.
She was on a semi.
This is Dave Campos. Thanks for listening to Tom Martinez.
She doesn't in the trailer?
I'm guessing that she's
That would be so weird. You've never seen anything like that? Yeah, but how about airplanes?
Yeah.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
Oh, they were just tucked away down in Georgia.
Try to find out where it's playing, though.
I'm looking.
That's the part.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We talked about moving scams, and I said I would explain that to you. First and foremost, let me just say this. I want you to check before you move with Compass Insurance Group and see if you have coverage for a move. Sometimes you can. And that's way better than anything a mover can give you. The insurance is a ripoff, period. So when it comes to moving, get your own insurance.
And what's the normal coverage if you don't buy the insurance and it's interstate?
60 cents a pound. Even the insurance you buy is not great. It's better to go to Compass Insurance Group. In fact, go to them for all your insurance needs, 303-996-9000. Now, having said that, moving scams. The number one thing you have to understand is when you call a mover, especially in Florida, 99.9% of the time, it will be a scam automatically, just because that's where they all are. Now, here's what happens. They want a down payment. First problem, never give a down payment up front, ever, 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 ever. Never. You pay when stuff is picked up, you pay when it's delivered. But here's the thing. Never make a deposit, because when you do, that person is out of your life. They've been paid. They don't care about the move. Then they sell that contract to someone. They sell it to someone. They've been paid. They sell it to someone. Sometimes they get paid again when they sell it. But when they give it to the other guy, another guy might get this contract and say, okay, this person just paid $1,000 and they were quoted $6,000. They go to your house, and then you're at their mercy. They say, nah, we can't pick this up for $6,000. You know, the $1,000 you paid plus the $5,000 due. This is going to cost more. I'm sorry. It wasn't accurate. Then they want more money up front. Second mistake. They increased the price already. The third one is on delivery. They say it weighed way more than they thought, and you're going to owe more to even get your stuff. Or they put it in storage and start racking up storage fees until finally you pay sometimes triple what the highest bid was, and you thought you went with the lowest bid. That's the moving scam. The way to do it is to find a local agent with a national van line that actually owns its own trucks and has a great track record. Okay? And then no money up front and a guaranteed not to exceed contract with full insurance from Compass Insurance Group. That's it. There's no other way to avoid a scam. In every other way, you will be scammed.
Can I throw something in?
Go ahead.
A lot of times, please value your stuff before you hire even a legitimate
that's a good thing. Tell them on.
Most people, a good move across the country for an average 1,500, 2,000 square foot house, couple bedrooms, different kinds of furniture, it's going to be 10 grand. It's going to be 10 grand. If your furniture and everything you're moving, with the exception of your true valuables, your keepsakes, probably aren't worth that. You can get brand new furniture and just drive there. A lot of times there is no purpose in moving your furniture. You can replace it for less.
That's unbelievable. Did you hear that? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Yes, you can replace it for less. Yeah. Okay, Diane, what's going on?
Thank you for taking my call, Tom. I have a question regarding CenturyLink.
What's going on?
So I have CenturyLink on a previous house. I had an answering machine. I moved to a new home. I have CenturyLink. I have the same phone number. The answering machine will not take any messages. So I've talked to the answering machine company, Panasonic. They point fingers at CenturyLink. I talked to CenturyLink.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
Obvious here.
What do you mean? A Panasonic answering machine?
As a answering machine.
You mean you have an old-fashioned, or is it a digital one? It's a digital answering machine?
That's old-fashioned.
Hey, listen, I gave up the fax line during this move. I got to go slowly on these changes.
Hey, Diane.
Did you get
Diane? No. Seriously, Diane. You have a machine. When you say a machine, it's connected to your phone at your house, right?
Right, and the phone has 4 additional units throughout the house.
Okay, but let me say something. That has nothing to do with CenturyLink. Nothing.
Well, their voicemail might pick up almost after 2 rings, and hers is set for 4.
I mean, first of all, do you even have voicemail from CenturyLink?
I do not.
Okay. Then no matter how, let's say you turned off your voicemail machine and I called you, it would ring 100 times and nothing would happen, right?
If I turned the answering machine off, yes.
Okay. And when you turn it on, do you have a choice of how many rings it rings?
When I turn it on, it rings 4 times. It goes over and answers and says, messages cannot be left at this number.
Wait a minute.
That's going to be the CenturyLink.
Okay. So it's never reaching your machine.
You know, Tom, that could be a tip ring roll at that phone.
Yeah, but here's what's happening, though. You do not have voicemail set up with CenturyLink.
And I didn't previously either.
I understand.
At my previous? Okay.
But right now, if you don't have voicemail set up, it goes to a message that says either voicemail has not been set up by this phone or this phone cannot take messages. You're getting that message from CenturyLink. So when you turn off your machine, you should still get that message. But you're saying you don't get that message when you turn off your machine?
If I turn the machine off, then the call just rings and rings and rings and rings. That
makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Unless she's not using the old Panasonic correctly.
Yeah, but the Panasonic would not have a message saying...
maybe because the memory's full, or in her case, I'm guessing the 8-track is no longer working.
Yeah, but Diane, seriously, there are 2 ways you get that message. Or there's only one way I know you get that message, and that's from the carrier. But you're not getting that message from the carrier. If you're getting it from the machine, I did not even know answering machines give that message unless, as Mark said, it's full. But, you know, Talib, you're shaking your head no, but you make no sense. So tell me what it is then. Tell me. I want to hear it. I honest to God want to hear what you're saying. Go ahead.
An old telephone guy is on the phone right now talking to you.
Well, just do it then. Talk. Tell me how this is happening.
It's a tip ring.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That the two wires in the jack that she's got her phone plugged in
yes.
can be flipped over.
And what would that cause?
That would cause her answering machine to see the signals from the carrier that are now the way that they are correctly. In other words, if you tip ring roll a phone and you send it a signal, it's going to say, I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to do what I'm supposed to.
From the carrier or from the machine?
The machine is looking at the carrier upside down. You can talk on it.
Who's generating the message, you can't leave voicemail on this phone?
That would be the carrier.
But she's saying, if that's unplugged, though, if it's turned off, she's saying, she doesn't get that message.
Really,
so
it just rings forever.
That's what she says. That's why it is weird. You're saying whether the machine is on, if the machine is off, it rings forever. If the machine is on, you get that message. You get that message from where though? Where's the message coming from? What exactly does the message say? Diane?
Is that for me?
Yeah, what does the message?
Calls cannot be left at this number.
Well, that doesn't sound like a voicemail machine. That sounds like the carrier.
So here's the question. I live in a house. I have an answering machine. I have CenturyLink. Everything works fine. I move. I take said answering machine. I plug it into new house. I have same phone number. I have CenturyLink. Answer machine won't pick up.
It could be anything, though. And here's what I mean by
Hold on. We got to take a break and figure this out. Just wait.
A number that could be a void number, and the answering machine doesn't fucking get it.
And that's what I'm talking about. Okay, new phones.
So but then the answering machine is not making it
because it's an old answering machine. Okay?
That's what I'm saying, but it's not creating the message.
No, the carrier is creating the message.
But why? Okay. Because when it goes to pick up,
the carrier.
It sounds like when it goes to pick up, it's freaked out. It doesn't know what the fucking do.
So it doesn't pick up.
And then the carrier doesn't know what to do, so it plays that message.
Why, when the machine is off, it rings?
Because the machine's not trying to pick it up, and it doesn't understand how to talk to it. I mean, I'm totally fucking guessing.
That's what I'm saying.
If what she's saying is correct, her answering machine's not smart enough to fucking say that.
Exactly. Her answering machine is not smart enough to know the signal coming in.
It just doesn't make sense.
Hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com.
Yeah, but this stuff wasn't around when you were working.
Let's talk about theliquidloan.com. The Liquid Loan is something that I think is incredible. It is a loan on your home, a 30-year line of credit that you can choose to pay any way you want. You can pay simple interest only and keeping your payments really low. And by the way, if you're not going to stay in your home a long time, you really should pay just simple interest. Or you can pay the principal anytime you want, any amount you want. In fact, any amount in your bank counts against that balance. In other words, you're credited for it. And therefore, you pay even less interest. You could borrow even more if you have equity. So it's liquid. You borrow it, you pay it. You borrow it, you pay it. Affordable interest mortgage carries theliquidloan.com. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. If you're looking for really clean carpets, what's really clean? It means that no soap, no emulsifiers, no chemicals are in those carpets. When they dry them and walk away, there's nothing in those carpets. And I often joke, that's what I love about Zero Res, nothing. Because they use only water, empowered water, a patented process that makes that water super soft and a cleaning agent like none other to get rid of germs and pathogens and tracked in dirt. They have deep down scrubbing techniques. And because there's no dirt attracting residue, they stay clean longer. And they dry faster. ZeroResDenver.com. 3-room areas, $99. 303-471-5150. 303-471-5150. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Whether you're listing a property or you're looking to buy a property, you can use his master negotiating skills. This man has stats to show he can outperform the market, whether buying or selling. It is amazing. If you meet with him free of charge, he'll give you a valuation or an analysis of your home, and I guarantee you will love what he tells you. Some people think, wait. He's listing my house too low, but he does it on purpose, and he gets a bidding war going. 303-920-1622. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. What's the...
To improve overall health and wellness. Modern medicine.
I've gotten you cannot leave messages at this number when you don't set up a voicemail.
Correct.
Or they say a voicemail has not been set up. So it's got to be the carrier. But what triggers the carrier to pick up when it's on? What triggers it? What does it see?
I think
that
it sees the phone load.
It sees, it knows the old POTS line, or it's basically, it picks up the POTS line.
Exactly. It sees the old device sitting on the end of the line, ring, and then it says, no, there's no answer machine here, and we're not going to answer. That's what that carrier is doing, is saying, stop ringing. Let it go, because there is...
And it's not picking up the machine because it may not be a regular POTS line.
And the machine is not picking up because that house is wired incorrectly.
Or it might be
a void.
If she's got an old answer machine, it can't be a void.
Well, remember, she just moved to a new house. We don't know what the new house
she's
has.
using an old answering machine.
I know.
Okay.
So there could be a
Her
void
old
line.
house could have
Her
been
old
POTS
house could have been a
lines.
regular line, and the new house could be a void line.
The telephone company, CenturyLink, is going to wire your house in such a manner that I don't care how old your phone is, it's going to work. Okay? Why? Because they still honor the idea of tip.
Well, how does it know when I turn the dial where the fuck it is these days?
It's click, or tone.
You're saying it still counts those clicks right now.
I'm saying if you put an old ass phone on there, a rotary phone on a line from CenturyLink,
I was told
and reel that puppy around.
You need a VoIP phone for a VoIP line. You can't use
Yeah, he's saying though the lines are going to be POTS lines coming into
Just
the
go
house.
into her house, rewire that one jack, and she'll be happy.
I do it all the time.
No, but maybe when CenturyLink came out, when they put in the internet, they put in a VoIP box, and her phones work with it fine, but the answering machine doesn't.
The VoIP, even whatever they put in, however they bring those lines to that house, they're going to deliver tip, ring to the jacks throughout that house. Period. That's the way the phone company works. That's why you can move from one place to another and plug your shit in and expect it to work.
I'm just saying,
if
you brought a regular phone to our system,
the house is wired
it would
wrong.
not work.
No, it will not work.
It makes complete sense.
Because that's a VoIP system.
It makes complete sense that it's wired wrong. Now they explained it because the phone line doesn't see anything on the other end, and when it's plugged in,
and it gives that error message.
When it's not plugged in,
the phone line doesn't see anything. Okay, when it's plugged in, the phone line sees the load. No, it sees the load. Okay, it sees the load of that phone. All right, and it says there's no answer machine. I'm not going to answer, and this isn't answering, so there is no answer. When you correct the wiring.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Let's talk about this thing. Garage Magic, by the way, is a great place to have your garage door done. Garage Magic, I know these people. They have all their employees. They have a 20-year guarantee. It's an unbelievable finish for your garages and your hangar, your warehouse, your sidewalks. Garage Magic, 720-600-HOME, 720-600-HOME, GarageMagic.com. Okay, now, this is crazy, Diane, but all we know is this, okay? I want to ask you something. When you plug that answering machine into another jack in your house, does it do the same thing?
I haven't taken it to other jacks because, I did take it to the other jacks on the main floor, and I don't believe they've been activated because nothing happened. I couldn't get a dial tone out of them, and I haven't taken it downstairs to see if the ones downstairs are working.
What do you mean they haven't been activated? Usually when a house is wired, they're all activated. If they bring the phone line into a main box, they call it a CO box or central office, and that goes into that box and distributed to the house. What do you mean it hasn't been activated?
Brand new house.
Well,
is this a new house, Diane?
It's not a brand new house, no.
I'm going to tell you about a brand new house.
But we don't need to. Hers is not new, though. So in your house, Diane, were they? This is not. How old is the house?
1996.
And your phone works just fine in that house?
Works fine, except I don't have any way to answer, to pick up calls when I'm not there. It just rings and rings and rings.
Have you ever thought about getting CenturyLink's voicemail? I'm serious. It's not expensive.
Well, I believe what they do is they offer several services for free each month, and I think I'm using those services like being unlisted, and I can't remember what the other service is. So
why do you even have a landline? I'm curious, Diane. Is there a reason you have a landline to begin with?
Well, yes, because we have lived in a fire zone for most of our life, and so it's just nice to know that you can call in case the satellite goes down because of snow on it, or
what's good? The thing that Talib is suggesting is so easy to check. A technician could check it in 5 minutes. He thinks that your two lines are reversed on your phone system, which confuses the answering machine so it doesn't pick up, which somehow forces CenturyLink to pick up when it's plugged in. When it's not plugged in, CenturyLink does not pick up. Again, I don't know the logic, but I mean, it doesn't take long for that to check out that inside wiring. There are phone companies that do inside wiring. Even CenturyLink will check your inside wiring for a charge.
Doesn't it usually go from the old school setup like that? Wouldn't it go from the wall into the answering machine, then out into a normal phone in case you want to use it? No?
Well, it can, or it can do both.
I just wonder if she plugged
it. Can be parallel, or it can be in line. I had an answering machine that did what you said. Then I had one you could plug in on its own.
The only difference with this house versus my previous house is I did CenturyLink internet at this house. So
see, I go back to what I was saying. They did some kind of VoIP setup in there to get the price down, and she's not in the VoIP system, or that machine doesn't work with it.
I actually agree with you, Mark, that CenturyLink came out, set up VoIP to the house.
Right.
But from that box on the side of the wall, the rest of the wiring in the house is simply flipped.
Well,
that's what I think.
Okay. You know what? We're not gonna solve it, Diane, but I don't think it's CenturyLink's problem. I don't. I mean, if you're getting phone service otherwise and you're getting internet, I just don't think it's their problem. I think it has something to do, as Sleeve said, it could be your wiring, or it could simply be that you have VoIP. I know for a fact I had a home that had VoIP service, and they told me I needed special VoIP phones. Okay, that's what they told me, and that would mean that a regular POTS answering machine maybe wouldn't work. I don't know. All I'm saying is I had to buy special phones. And then I had another house that I could use that had VoIP, but it was VoIP. It was weird, but I could use any phone. So I don't get it. I guess it's the way they're expanding, Diane. But it's the inside wiring no matter what. Whether it's VoIP or not, it's an inside job. It's not CenturyLink. It's not their problem.
Is it possible when they have DSL over those phone lines coming in, and she did not have that at her old house? So this house, on those POTS lines coming, is a bonded DSL pair. Could that make some kind of noise to where it's freaking out the answering machine? I don't know. I mean, I know it's not even worth it when all you pay $2 and you get it through CenturyLink.
I know, Diane. It really is a weird kind of problem to have.
Let's send Mark Szymanski out.
Yeah, and you can even get voicemail through Google. But you have
how about a cell phone?
Well, she wants a POTS line. or what a landline.
Internet.
Listen, Diane, I'm going to put it out to our listeners to see if anybody has any information or can shed some light on this. To call 303 Martino if you guys can help us out. 303-627-8466.
Tom, I just went through that with my mother-in-law. She just bought a house 2 years ago.
Oh, I don't know. I
No, I'm just telling you. She just bought a house 2 years ago, all right? CenturyLink, Xfinity came out to do the internet, where CenturyLink had already been there. When they put it all in and showed us one line working, I still had to go through that house, okay, and flip stuff, okay, to make her phone
I have a
work.
little thing that does that for me. You plug it in, it'll tell you what wire is crossed.
And ding, that's what I'm talking about.
It says 1 to 1, 2 to 2, and then it'll say this and this. It'll show.
And if you put a patch tester in there, it'll tell you tip ring roll. It'll say it. I mean, not say it out
But it's
loud.
color coded. I don't know how the fuck they get it wrong.
Because all they're looking at is getting two wires twisted together the same way.
You have to take advantage
Of this $24 extreme clean and refurbishment of your furnace or AC only from Fix It 24/7. The people that I have at my home for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and you should too. Listen, $24. God, you spend more than that for coffee, and it's a no breakdown guarantee. You want to get this done because both the furnace and the AC are needed for the cooling season coming up. $24. You will not believe the extent they go to clean, fix, and adjust your furnace or AC. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. FixMyHome.com. Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, I met with yesterday after my show to go over my retirement plan. They are a wealth of information. Oh, yeah, I have investment people. I talked to Blake Harris about my estate, and I have all kinds of people on my side. But the Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, what they do is coordinate everything. They're really good people to have on your side. By the way, they will save you money because they can see where you're doing redundant things or where you should be doing something else. They will coordinate everything you do for retirement. It's worth a conversation. And they are totally transparent on how they work with you and what it costs and what they will save you. They'll meet with you as many times as it takes to get comfortable. 970-663-3211. They'll come to you. You can go to them, or you can do a Zoom meeting. 970-663-3211. That's Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, which is rpcenter.com.
Millions of
the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size.
The only part that confuses me, I understood exactly what you're saying about the miswiring, but then I would think it would always fuck up and go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what being plugged in and not plugged in. Can the phone company actually tell if you have something plugged in?
Yes, okay, all right.
They can.
Yeah, when you talk about old phone systems or when you talk about phone systems, okay, they can tell when there's loop start, ground start, or different types of starting. Okay, a loop start is the one where they'll get those tip ring rolls flipped out all the time. Why? Because it doesn't care. Okay, on an old phone, it doesn't care which wire is in. Right? Red, green, green, red. Okay, but with newer phones, as soon as newer systems started coming in, as soon as smarter phones came in, phones with phones built into them, then it became important that you get tip and ring right because that phone is actually a digital device and it sees that circuit sitting on it in reverse. It'll ring and you can pick it up, but none of the smarts will work because they're getting the wrong signals. Oh yeah, the phone. Telephony is something that's going to stay weird forever
because of the transition.
Because there are folks that want to keep plain old telephone line services in their house. You're building whole neighborhoods now that are absolutely fibered to the gateway, and then everything inside is digital to the wall on the outside of your house, and your house is already pre-wired by the builder. Okay. And then they marry the two together. Well, when they marry the two together, if the tech doesn't give a shit or he just believes that tip ring and ring tip doesn't matter anymore, he just throws the wires in. And she moves from one place to another and can't talk.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Here to help you solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. Lee says he has an answer to this phone problem. Is that the one we're talking about here, the phone problem with Lee? Go ahead, Lee. What is the answer?
Yes, it's CenturyLink. Whenever you make a change with CenturyLink, they automatically set you up with voicemail. So you have to call CenturyLink and ask them to take you off of voicemail, and then your answering machine will work.
But why is it when she unplugs the answering machine, it never goes to voicemail?
Because she has to set up voicemail through CenturyLink.
I get it.
She has an answering machine. And they do this, and I have had this happen to me and a friend.
No, I understand what you're saying, Lee. We understand completely what you're saying, that it's automatically going to voicemail until she disables it. But here's what we're asking you. It doesn't automatically go to voicemail when the answering machine is turned off. That's what we're confused about. It only goes to what you're calling voicemail.
Point, Tom.
What?
You're missing the point.
What is the point?
It automatically, it goes into Neverland. It goes into voicemail. If her answering machine is turned off, it's turned off. She has to disable voicemail.
Okay. Lee, let's forget she has a voice. Let's forget she has a machine there, okay? Let's just say there's no machine there at all. You're saying by default she has voicemail. Is that right?
That's correct.
Therefore, if I call her, it will eventually go to voicemail. Is that right?
I don't know about that.
Well, that's what we're saying, Lee. That's what we're saying. I think you're missing the point of what she's saying. She is claiming that it only goes to CenturyLink voicemail when her machine is plugged in. But if her machine is not plugged in, it does not go to voicemail. So if she had CenturyLink voicemail, I would think it would always go to CenturyLink voicemail. I understand what you're saying, Lee. I appreciate what you're saying. But I don't understand why, if she had by default CenturyLink voicemail, as you are saying, it would always go to CenturyLink when it's not being answered.
Well, she should still disable it. She hung up before I could get her number. I hope she's listening. She should disable the option with CenturyLink.
Yes, she should. But maybe that'll help. But I don't see how, if she did have CenturyLink voicemail, I don't know how CenturyLink voicemail would know to only be used when her machine is plugged in and not be used when it's unplugged. I just don't get it. To me, it makes no sense. 303-713-TALK.
How about the lines themselves? In an older house like that, doesn't it run two pair through the jacks, or does it run one pair?
I don't even know.
Depends on who did the wire.
Yeah. Maybe it's looking for the other two pair when it's plugged in.
Now, Chris wants to talk about being in a Chapter 13, if a mortgage company will work with him. Let's get one of our lenders on to talk to him coming right up. 303-713-8255. We got more, including what about distributions from retirement accounts? We'll talk about that, too.
I don't think that's
I'm so confused. My head hurts.
I don't think that's a mortgage question.
Talib, do you understand what she was saying about why would it just...
No, the second lady got his mouth.
I don't think that's a mortgage question on Ford.
The second lady was talking on the side.
It's a bankruptcy question.
Didn't get it. Once she said,
I get it.
Yeah. And the first lady...
I called Mikey. Mikey, the first thing Mikey said is what Talib said.
It's about tip ring.
Yep.
Tip ring roll.
But then he started thinking, he goes, the other thing could be
the answering machine is only looking for, you know, line 2 out of those 4 pairs.
No, what he says is logical, except the part that I don't get when the phone company sees a load on there says, oh, we better kick in our voicemail.
It's not their voicemail, it's an error message.
No, that's literally that is an error message. That is a that's what they call a ring no answer message. And new systems do that.
Okay, but the ring no answer doesn't happen when it's unplugged.
Yeah, because there's no error.
Because there's no load. Because there's no load out there, so the system is just handling itself. It doesn't see a problem. It doesn't see anything to do. Okay. You sitting there ringing.
I just can't believe she's still got a fucking answering.
That's right.
Dude, my mother-in-law has one. I just did this in her house. I literally just went through this in her house. I want to use my answering machine. We ended up calling CenturyLink, telling them to kill the voicemail. I ended up going through the house and checking all the decks and making sure they were wired. And then I went out to the box and tip ring rolled at the box so every jack in the house would roll at the same time.
And that fixed it. Or made it work.
No, it made it work, yeah.
All that.
It took me forever to learn that damn tip ring stuff, though, when I was at the phone.
Remember back in the day, you would have some of the first ones. In order to retrieve your messages remotely, you'd have to play a tone.
A tone or a code?
A tone. You would have a little beep, and that would tell your answering machine to play it.
We also used to steal long distance with that 2400 hertz.
We did that we had in military school. We had the fucking FBI come in.
The blue box, huh? Did you have a blue box?
We'd go right to the telephone. You go to the payphone, and you'd play this dictaphone. It was an old, little dictaphone. Right. It would go, and it'd think you drop a quarter in.
And you were faking coins. Okay, yeah.
It would think you dropped a quarter in. So what ultimately happened is, this is back when, everything was Ma Bell. Ma Bell would come out to the school. It's registering, there's 1,000 fucking quarters in there, or whatever the capacity is. There ain't a fucking nickel in there. So they basically, literally, the FBI came out, and there was something else going on there, too. People were Xeroxing dollar bills and putting them in the pop machine.
Yeah, well, everything that you do on the phone line is better.
Not only would you get, not that I ever did this, but not only would the old bill changers accept the dollar, they give you fucking 50 cents change.
Wow. Yeah. No, I've been there. It took me so long to figure out what they meant by tip ring, and it's really just positive and neutral. No, okay, positive and neutral, because the ground start would be your negative side. They literally had that 48 volts floating in the air. If you hit this one to ground, you had 48 this way. If you hit this one to ground, you had 48 the other way. It was literally floating.
Did I ever charge your cable box, or that was prior to us meeting? It was probably prior.
That was prior to us meeting. But it was while we knew each other, because you were charged at your house.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't even know if I had a cable box at the time. I don't know.
I got into the satellites big time, too, man. The satellites were the best. At one point, I had every local from every market. New York to California, Puerto Rico. Like, just ABC, I'd probably get 50 affiliates. Like, thousands of stations. It's fucking crazy. Every pay-per-view, everything. There was nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm into that phone stuff, though.
What are you doing now for TV?
It's all, the main thing I use is YouTube Live. You can't beat it, man. It's $60, $70 a month. I can go to any state, any hotel with a little Fire Stick, and I can watch their locals. I can watch all my channels. whatever I have, I can watch anywhere we go, which is perfect for the coach. I mean, you just plug it in. No fucking bullshit. In fact, the coach I bought, though, actually has the full tracking, automatic satellites and all that shit, but there's not a reason in the world to use it.
Fox 31 pinpoint weather, mixed clouds and sun this afternoon. Gusty winds at
My buddy got the Elon Musk thing for his.
I've been on, for our house, we've been on the list forever. We were supposed to have it by now, but for whatever reason, we don't. We got one guy in the neighborhood that was on the bait, and he fucking loves it. Loves it. It just went up in price. It's $110 a month now. I don't give a shit. I'll take it in a heartbeat, man.
Visit Woodleys.com today.
I bind it with the CenturyLink as a backup.
Yeah.
Just faster.
Yeah, less latency, faster. Not than cable. If you can get cable or fiber,
you go.
Don't touch it. But if you're stuck with DSL like I am.
What's Corey's name in our processing company, our contractor?
KRUPP.
And it's Corey with a B?
C-O-R. C-O-R-E-Y. Corey Krupp, K-R-U-P-P.
Thank you.
We got to start pushing that more. You got to work it into inventory.
Well, you let me know because I'm selling out fast. So I will absolutely work it in. I will absolutely do it. The show is rocking and rolling. That's good news. I'm not going to complain about it.
Look at all these answering machine comments.
Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Probably Betamax player.
Yeah.
This one is very crazy on line 1, man. I know about this. Stucco dude. Rhino.
Oh, Rhino?
Rhino Stucco.
Yeah.
This guy claims he had a business next to Rhino Stucco. And Rhino Stucco somehow got one of their customers' checks. Must have faked endorsed it, cashed it, and now they're gone and out of business, and he can't get the money. I mean, it sounds kind of crazy.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Let's talk. What is on your mind? How can we help you? We love helping you with good people like GarageMagic.com for your garage floor needs. They're great people with a 20-year guarantee on their floors. That's amazing. All employees, GarageMagic.com. Okay, so Mark Szymanski's with us from Genesis Total Exteriors, and we have some questions for Mark on the storm. I said that he can work with your public adjuster or insurance company on multiple claims. So explain how that works. It's one deductible, even though there's several different areas, right? If it goes on one contract.
Yes.
So how do you do that? You'll give an estimate of all storm damage.
Correct. Yeah, and then, again, if we're working with Matt or not or whoever,
right?
Yeah, we do all the storm damage, complete.
On one invoice.
On one invoice to the insurance company, and then when we're done, we send them a certificate of completion, and they'll get their deductible.
Okay, and again, this makes it streamlined for insurance claims. Now, as far as siding, I love good siding. Have you heard of Everlast Siding?
Yeah, we've quoted. We've installed 2 jobs with it.
I love that stuff.
It's great. I also love LP Smart Side.
What is that?
LP Smart Side is, and again, with a diamond coat, 30-year guarantee, no fade. The material's guaranteed for 50 years.
What? Now, how is it made? Is it through and through?
No, it's a wood product.
Oh, it is.
It is, and it's embossed.
Why do they call it a Smart Side? What is it?
That's just the name of the product.
Yeah, but is it laminated with?
Well, they use aspen trees, and they shave. They take an aspen tree and they shove it into a chipper, and it chips it all out. Aspen.
Does it look like wood?
Well, it looks like wood because it's embossed, but it's all painted. You can get a stamp.
And what is this coating you're talking about?
And then you have Diamond Coat. Diamond Coat is a phenomenal product.
Is that a house paint?
It is, but it's only put in a factory. It's a factory.
Oh, okay. So it comes out that way. Right. It's not painted on site.
Yeah, and it's actually, we have a plant here in Lyman that does it. So they just opened up about 2 years ago.
Is it important with that Smart Side It used to be when you had some of these products, if you penetrated with a nail or you went too far in with a nail, it could compromise.
No, not at all, because every chip is waterproof. And then so every chip goes through and gets waterproof.
All the way through it?
All the way through, and then they...
Oh, okay, now that's different.
Then they glue all the chips together underneath high pressure, and they use all the...
So it is basically through and through.
Right, and why I like that better than Hardy, because Hardy cracks.
I don't like Hardy. I like this LP Smart Sign sounds great. Of course, Everlast sounds great. Let's talk about bankruptcy going for a home loan. Chapter 13. Chris, how long you been in your Chapter 13?
I am almost done. It ends January or February of 2023.
Okay, and you've been making monthly payments to pay all your bills, right?
I have.
And you'll be out of it. And you have a home now, or you want to buy a home?
No, so before the bankruptcy, obviously my ex-wife now, her and I built the house in 2014, and I'm still living there, but I'd like to buy her out of it and stay there.
Right now, though, you have, that's what I'm asking. You have a mortgage right now, Chris, is that right?
Yes.
And did you include the house, like a write-down or anything, with the bankruptcy?
No, the house wasn't included. That's why we were able to keep it.
So you paid 100% every month of that payment?
Correct.
Okay. So let's ask Gigi Wink from Wink & Wink. They're bankruptcy attorneys. They've been on a referral list for many, many years. Gigi,
hello.
In a Chapter 13, if he's talking about refinancing basically and buying his wife out, is that going to be possible?
Yes, it is. Now, let me dispel a common myth. He did include his house in the bankruptcy.
Oh.
There is no way to ever file any chapter of bankruptcy and not include every asset you own. It doesn't mean you lose it. You can include a home, a car in a bankruptcy and keep them. It's all a matter in a 13 of reconciling the equity that's not protected, yada, yada, yada. But yes, that house is in the bankruptcy. But it sounds like it worked out just fine.
Well, when it's in the bankruptcy, though, Gigi, that doesn't mean you reduce your payment or cheat them, right?
That's right. That's right. You're just going to be paying it on the terms of the contract all the way through, unless you're using the 13 to also catch up on missed mortgage payments, which should have been caught up in the first couple of years of the plan if that was part of the plan.
Okay, so now he wants to go forward. Is it too soon while he has several months left?
No.
Okay.
But he will need to get approval from the Chapter 13 trustee. The lender will require that to complete any refinance. Yeah.
And you're not pulling cash out. Oh, you are, Chris, because you are going to pay her back.
And that's something you want to discuss with your Chapter 13 attorney, just to make you're close enough to the end that it likely wouldn't cause any problems. If you still had a few years left, it can change the budget. They can require you to file a new budget. That's the type of thing we want to look at. They can get another bite at the apple, basically. If you're making more income, they can look at that. When you've only got, less than a year left, 6 months left, unlikely any of that's going to be a problem. You just want to run it by your attorney because you will need your attorney's help to get that trustee approval and all of that. So,
Chris, a quick question here. Do you have equity in that house?
Yes.
How much?
We built it for $372. It just appraised for $615.
How much you owe on it?
$320.
$615, $320. Okay. Okay.
That shouldn't be an issue because that was all determined at the beginning of the plan.
No, I'm just wondering if he has enough to borrow. $615 because times 8, they're not going to go beyond 80%. So $492. Will that be enough to pay off your loan and pay off your wife?
It'll be close enough because I'm going to have to pull something out of my my retirement as well to just so her and I are done with that part.
And by the way, the payout on the retirement without penalties should have been done within the divorce. That could have been done without any tax penalties. But if you don't do it like that, it's not a qualified disbursement, and you're going to pay penalties, just so you know.
Okay.
There's a special disbursement you can do in a divorce of part of your retirement where you do not pay taxes or penalties because it's going to your ex-spouse. I forget what they call it. There's a special word for it, but anyway, it's just something. Maybe they can amend it. I don't know if you can go back and do it. When were you divorced?
It's actually not even. It's going to be final within the next 2 weeks.
Then you might be able to find out how much you're going to have to pull out of your retirement plan and do that disbursement through the divorce.
I think it's called a QDRO.
That's right, a Kudrow. That's exactly what it is.
Like the vicious dog.
No, that's... Anyway, so listen, Chris, I think it's all in the lender you find to try to get this done.
And run it by your attorney. Make sure to do that. Just because if you're reducing your payments significantly and altering your budget, the risk to you is they could ask for more money as your Chapter 13 payment for that last stretch.
Oh, really? Because he has more money?
Yep.
Ah.
Income. So.
Well, he won't have more income necessarily.
Right.
He's just going to have.
Then it might be fine. But if he reduces his mortgage payment, that, No,
it's going to increase it. It'll increase his mortgage. What interest rate are you at right now, Chris?
2.875.
Oh, you're going to go up significantly.
Double.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
so it probably won't cause problems in the bankruptcy, but always run it by your attorney because you're going to need to get.
What did you want, Mark?
Just a general question, Gigi. Are you seeing an uptick? I mean, we had a lot of people that weren't paying their bills for their apartments for almost.
Yeah, what's going on in the world? What's going on in the world of bankruptcy?
The lowest numbers we've had since I think it was something like 2005, before the law changed. Nothing's moving, very few filings. It's always a lagging indicator. And like you said, Mark, a lot of free money going through the system, especially to small business owners. They're extending the moratorium on student loan payments again. Not that bankruptcy can get you out of those, but it's part of the analysis. So
what's the industry think in general? What do your peers think is going to happen here in the next couple?
I think we all are thinking we're a year out probably from seeing the numbers go up again because of the forbearances on mortgage and everything you've discussed, I'm sure.
You think the foreclosures will be coming back?
I do. So many people weren't paying their mortgage. And what I can tell you from doing this for now over a decade, when you stop paying your mortgage for a year, trying to put that line item back in your budget is very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's a lot of people's biggest, that's their biggest bill, hopefully.
Yes, and they get used to not paying it. And when it's time to start paying it again, it just seems like they just can't make it work.
What I'm afraid of is where the value of homes, especially in Colorado, a lot of people are tapping into what equity they have, like this guy's talking about. And then the problem is, once this housing market slows down, and it will slow down, and those values come down, people don't realize it, but they already sold their house on the slow. They already squeezed every penny out of there.
Yeah, and we've seen this before, like not that long ago. This is what was happening in 7, 8, and 9. It's just using your house as a bank doesn't end up well.
You're right. And by the way, if you ever get into trouble or want to discuss it, this is winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720.
I have a condo that went apart. We spent $215 on it.
When?
A long time ago. The neighbor just sold his for $730,000. It's a dump.
Mark, you were early over there.
You sons of bitches, you guys.
I'll tell you what.
It's like chip show.
We've got neighbors close to that in Keystone. They bought a 2-bedroom, probably It's kind of weird. The shit always comes furnished and weird shit like that in these places. But they bought it for, what is it, $400?
ApprovalReverse.com for your reverse loans. Approval Reverse, Joan Sullivan and her team. This is how I feel about reverse loans. It's a way to get to your equity when you're older and you need it for a lump sum, maybe a line of credit for emergencies or monthly payments, and you won't be upside down. When you rely on good people for reverse loans, they can be a valuable retirement tool. 303-771-3528. 303-771-3528. And while we're talking about loans, what about people who may not want a reverse loan, but they want a different kind of loan to control their payments and their balances? Affordable Interest Mortgage has an amazing loan called the Liquid Loan. .com. Do you know what the liquid loan is? It's a line of credit. So let's say you owe $350 on your house, okay, and you refi into a liquid loan. It pays off that loan. Now you got $350, right, on this liquid loan. That $350 you can pay interest only. It would be like $900, $1,000 a month, nothing compared to your regular payment. Now, let's say you decide to stay there longer. You do want to pay principal. You can pay any amount you want: $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. And let's say you get into trouble, you need money. You can borrow it back. It's liquid. In fact, if you have extra equity, you can go beyond the original $350 that you got. You can take another $100 out if you need it. Whatever it is, it's a liquid line of liquid line of credit. And what the best part about it, listen to this: any money you have in the bank for paying bills or any other reason, that is credited toward your balance. Can you imagine that? So therefore, you pay even less interest. I don't think there's any other loan that gives you the freedom of theliquidloan.com. 303-771-35, excuse me, that's the wrong number. It's theliquidloan.com. 720-895-0500. 720-895-0500. Okay? You might want to buy an RV. I can think of no other place for quick, wonderful deals than CentryRV.com. They're the only ones that didn't pound people over the head with way expensive, above sticker prices. CentryRV.com. They're good people. They'll pay top dollar for your trade, or you can even sell your old RV. They're looking for inventory. They're up at I-25 and the 240 exit to Longmont. Take that exit. Take a right down Frontage Road. It's right there. CentryRV.com. 303-453-1111.
Do you feel like your feet?
So, what you might think about when he was just talking about that liquid loan on that winter house, even if you don't need the money, you just put it on there. It just sits there as a first line of credit forever. Well, 30 fucking years.
Right.
So you can grab the equity anytime you want it, put it back anytime you want it, simple interest.
Yeah. I don't even know if you sell it down and rebuy a year from now.
Yeah, but you don't know what those weird places.
Don't know.
So they bought for around $400, then about 5 years ago, they sold that one. They made I don't know how much they made, maybe 100, whatever, and then bought a 3-bedroom at the top floor, which also has a loft as a 3rd bedroom. It's pretty cool, actually. And they redid the whole thing. They put about they put 150, maybe 200 into it. Complete fucking remodel, new furniture, whole thing. And I bet they probably have maybe 700. I bet it's 1.1, 1.2 now.
Sure.
It's fucking crazy.
And it's crazy because everybody's buying up there. It's all second homes. And so just like Wink and Wink was talking, people start getting in trouble here.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
And especially now, interest rates are popping, man. What are they, over 5 now?
Yeah.
And the Fed is really getting, everything that I took out of the last meeting was they're getting aggressive. They're trying to put an end to this inflation. There's only one way to do it, man. Get those goddamn rates way the fuck up.
Yeah.
Quit fucking pushing money into this shit.
Yeah.
Stop printing money.
Yeah, leave that to you in your basement.
right?
Hey,
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity.
Get that copier going.
So much sensitive information.
That new ink I got?
Yeah.
That's bomb, man.
What are you talking about?
It's got the metal in it and everything.
What's that?
I'm just pulling
my leg.
Some of that new ink I got has the metal. It has the metal in it and everything. It's magnetic. And it doesn't dry.
That's an EcoSmart. You buy those special cartridges, right?
It's the right.
You know, I had this Epson with tanks in it at my
It lasts like 8 million years.
at Steph's house. We never had more problem with that printer than any other printer. You have to clean the heads constantly because the ink sits on them. It is the biggest pain in the ass that you ever want to see. Even though they say, you know, it's more efficient and all that, and you can just keep refilling it with ink.
Yeah.
And they say you don't have to. They say you don't have to clean heads. You have to clean heads more than ever.
Do you ever print color?
You got to use it a lot.
That's exactly right. They said you don't use it enough.
Do you print color?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, you got to use.
So here's what he said. Try doing this instead of having it always sit there ready, which tends to heat it or something. Turn it off when you're not using it.
How much was it? Like $60?
What?
No,
They're not that cheap. They're not cheap. That cheap.
Come. Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Don't forget GenesisTotalExteriors.com. Now, we have a comment on that answering machine. I just want to say very quickly what happened, very quickly. The woman says she moved into a home with CenturyLink wiring. When she plugs in her answering machine, people who call get a message saying, you cannot leave messages at this number. When she unplugs the answering machine, it rings and rings and rings and rings and rings and rings and rings. We don't know why. So in other words, somehow that answering machine is screwing it up. Steve, what is your comment?
Well, there's a way you could test it right from the machine is with a cell phone, dial it, and if it answers, you unplug it and see if that disconnects. You'll know the answering machine is the one giving that message.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. So while it's saying this... go ahead.
Yeah, just unplug it. And then if that is the answering machine, there's a couple of options. Sometimes answering machines are set for announcement only, or you could also have the tape or digital playback or recording is not ready, so it gives a message like that.
Hey!
You can't leave one.
Why do you know this, Steve?
Well, I spent about 40-some years at the phone company. So.
Yeah, so did Talib. And what did you do?
About half of it was outside plant, and the last half was internal networking.
Cool. Was it AT&T?
But no, it was Mountain Bell, US West.
Oh my God!
When do you think all those are going to be gone?
CenturyLink. I missed Lumen, but
wow.
I think they're going to be gone soon.
Landlines completely?
Just not just landlines. I think landlines. That's a good way to put it. DSL, cable, all that.
Everything will be wireless.
I think so, pretty soon.
Hey, Suze, does that woman, do you still have her contact? Because if she's listening, I'd love to call her on the cell and have her unplug it right when I'm getting that message to see if it stops the message. What a great idea. Hey, Gary, what's going on with you, Gary? Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. What's happening with you?
I had sent some information into Suzanne about one of your referral individuals on your referral list who had cashed a check that they had received, I believe, accidentally by the post office. We office next to each other, never knew each other.
Oh, hold on. So you had a business and you were next door to this business.
Correct.
And they got your mail by mistake.
I think so.
Well, you think so. Okay. And so you think they cashed a check that was made out to you?
I know they cashed a check that was made out to me. In fact, I sent the copy of the check to Susanna.
Okay. So the check is endorsed. The check is endorsed, is what you're saying.
It is handwritten endorsed, so it's not stamped as if it was a volume of checks.
No, I get it.
That were just inappropriately stamped. It was handwritten with the name of the endorser, the company, and then it said deposit, and then it had a checking account or an account number listed underneath it.
Okay, so
My
who
name
was
is
the check
clearly
made?
on the front.
Who the check was made out to you? Is that right?
To my business. Yeah.
And what business is that?
Inspirations Design and Printing.
Okay, so check made out to Inspirations, and then who endorsed it?
Rhino Stucco Limited.
And did Rhino put their name on the back of it?
They sure did.
Yes.
And why does the bank? Why would a bank cash that?
I have no idea. I just received my copy from my vendor or from my customer. It had tracked this information down and just sent it to me a few days ago. And I've been trying to track down Rhino Stucco, who appears to have moved or gone out of business. Or
no, I don't know. Rhino, let's see.
They did.
They
Tom,
went out of business?
They went out of business. And the
God, I used to love him. I used to love using him. What was his name?
Bill Moore.
When you said he was part of the referral list, when did he go off the referral list?
He went off the late last year, but this check was cashed mid last year.
What the hell happened, do you think? So wait a minute. So that money went into his account?
His business account.
And have you called Bill Moore or tried to get a hold of them?
I have. I sent an email through your referral list. I sent an email through Yelp or some other business.
We may have his
contact.
We will give you his contact info.
I wonder, Tom, I have his cell phone. Should I just give it to Gary?
Why not? I mean,
let's try to call him right now.
Let's call him. Bill's a good guy, man. I promise you this.
I don't know him.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I was there for years. He was there for years. It was on the other side of a fence.
Yeah, he would have never. He would have never. I mean, I don't know what happened, but he's not going to beat you at him. How much was it?
$260.
Oh man, he's not going to beat anyone out of $260.
So I don't know who endorsed it. I don't know if it was intentional or accidental. But my name is clearly stated on the front.
No, I get it, man. I get it.
My customer's name is on the front.
I get it.
So
it could be somebody he had working for him or whatever. But I can see you want your money. Sure. It's very easy to understand. So let's try to get a hold of him. And if we can't, we'll give you his contact. I think. Do we still have? Yeah, man. I'm sorry about that. I have no idea. I'm sorry to hear he's out of business because he was going to do some work for me and touch up my house. I wonder what happened to him. He had a thriving. Hey, you've heard of him, right?
No, I have not.
You do? Do you do stucco?
I do a ton of stucco.
You're going to have to do my house. I need some touch up.
Again, we were talking about siding earlier.
Yeah,
I can side a house. I can stucco a house less expensive than I can LP Smart Side or Diamond Coat or any of that stuff.
So he was looking at my house, and the reason I didn't call you, Mark, is because I didn't know you did a lot of that. Yep. He was just looking at some of the corners. Sometimes there's a hole or something punched in it. He said it was real stucco, I think.
That's great.
But then around windows, I think was.
Yeah, starting to just
whatever you'd know by looking, right? Yeah. I got to get a bid because what I need the whole house kind of going over and corrected because I don't want moisture getting in there.
Right. That's
because it'll get worse, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right, cool. Friends and family pricing, I hope. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to hit you up on the air. Anyway, 303-713-TALK, 713-825. Steve's been waiting a long time. Steve, go ahead. What's going on with you, Steve?
Hey, Tom. Long-time listener, got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Regarding required minimum distributions out of an IRA account.
Yeah, they changed that, I think, to 72 years old now. You can wait till you're 72 to do that.
Right. This is regarding my father-in-law passed away last year, October 14th of 2021. He had satisfied his RMD for 2021. We then transferred the account into my mother-in-law's name as the beneficiary and just took about a week ago her 2022 distribution for that account.
Okay.
Well, it turns out that because of a mistake at Vanguard, they didn't transfer the money into her account until January 15th of this year. Are we now required to take a mandatory distribution for my deceased father-in-law?
That's really odd. So, because when did he die? He died last year, right?
October 14th of 2021.
Okay, I believe it's the status of the retirement plan at 12/31. I believe.
Okay.
But we're going to find out. We're going to get someone who can answer that rather than guess at it. And if that's the case, the status was your mom or mom-in-law. Did your
Mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law would have taken custody of that at the time of his death. She would have been in control at 1231. So I don't know how they figure out who gets to take that. It's going to be the same amount of money either way, I think. Is she the same age as him or substantially older or younger?
Yes, it's the same amount of money. The interesting thing is they opened the account in my mother-in-law's name to take the transfer out of my father-in-law, but they didn't complete the transfer for some mistake on their end until January 15th. The money didn't hit my mother-in-law's account.
I understand that, but she still had control over it.
Right.
So the minimum distribution could fall to her, but whether it falls to him or to her, she's going to get the money. She'll either get it as an heir or she'll get it directly. You understand that part?
Right, and we've completed that. We took the distribution a week ago and got her money and got the checks and everything's deposited, but we weren't sure because Vanguard told us that we would have a required minimum distribution for my father-in-law also.
For that partial year?
Yeah, from January 1st through January 15th.
Well, but he was dead part of that time.
That he was dead the entire time. You're correct.
Oh, wait. You said he died in 2021 or 2020?
21.
Okay, well then you said October of 21.
Yes.
Well, then he wouldn't have been dead the entire time. He was alive from January to October.
Well, yes.
Okay.
And he took his distribution.
I know.
For 2021.
He took it in 2021 for year 2021.
That's correct.
And then why did she take another one?
For 2022.
Yeah, but why do you take it now? When do you take the minimum distribution? At the end of the year, in the middle, or every month? I don't even know.
It can go to the end of the year.
You know what? Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies would know this, actually. They would know this. We can get them on. If it's too late, we'll schedule it for tomorrow. Hang on.
People confuse me because I know what I hear, and then he says he was dead the entire time.
He was dead not even a little. He wasn't dead most of it, right?
Yeah.
Now, impact traffic.
This report is sponsored by AAA Colorado Insurance.
Hey, Christine, what are your...
I-70 looks good through town. We are seeing some unusual volume on westbound 270 City. On freeway, there's an accident at 74th and Dahlia, also one on Federal at 6th Avenue. And in High Country, Upward Path is now reopened.
I think I just leave it alone. She takes her minimum distribution. There's not another one required.
I thought that's what the guy said. The person said he had to take one for his dad too.
But his dad is dead.
Right. I know. Right.
You know.
Don't settle for mediocre relationships. Break up with your insurance provider and get AAA insurance with coverage that loves you back. For 100 years, AAA has been providing auto insurance from a name you trust. Switch today and save up to 25%. Visit AAA.com/breakup.
American Restoration is
the company you call when you have an insult to your property. That means a sewer backup, or maybe you have asbestos contamination, or you have a fire or flood or some major incident, unattended death, even one of your rentals with a meth lab or something. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't call the wrong company, because even though your insurance pays, if they don't do a good job, the company, and your insurance pays, they're not going to pay you again. So choose the right company up front. American Restoration 24/7. Rock and his team have all the certifications they need from EPA and from local building authorities to take care of the most dangerous substances. They can mitigate. They can get rid of it. They can help you rebuild. They can do as little or as much as you want. They can work with your public adjuster. They can work with your contractor. They can work with your insurance company. American Restoration 24/7. 8337-AM-REST. Don't take a chance on the others. American Restoration, 8337-AM-REST or amrest247.com. Countertops come in all shapes and sizes and in all materials, natural stone or man-made material. The Art of Granite does all of them. And here's their forte: prices on the phone, because they know they have great deals. They sell you wholesale all materials. They tear out and haul away free. They do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. And if you mention Martino, you'll get a free sink. Get your price, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
I'm Catherine Townsend.
In October 2015,
You like true crime, right, Mark?
I do. Listen to that one yesterday.
Right?
I like these two ladies.
Yeah.
Addie loves it too.
I'm back in Arkansas investigating what really happened to her. iHeartRadio is #1 for podcasts, and it's easy to see why. Listen to Helen Gone on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
I love the sleep ones at night. I fucking use them. They're good.
The ones that meant to put you to sleep.
Yeah, or bedtime stories, adult bedtime stories. I mean, they're cool. Like, because they're like...
Sounds like soft porn.
No.
That's what I was thinking.
No. That's where your mind goes in the gutter.
And then she walked into your room.
It's really good.
Do you guys remember back in the day, they had those... I think the exchange was 900, the 900 sex lines.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I remember being a teenager calling one time. The fucking phone bill comes in. My old man about wrung my fucking neck. You know, it's like $10 a minute or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Horned calls?
976 numbers.
That's it. 976.
I would know about that shit. You guys.
We
Hell, he owned a telephone company.
Yeah, right.
I
had to buy it for that.
We had a phone system in one of our company buildings.
Had a lot of 976.
No. Okay, now it didn't have an SNDR, station message detail recording.
Tommy, that guy that we're giving the check to will be here in the next 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes. Do you want me to bring him in here?
If he's on,
I want to see if he looks sketchy.
Okay, but I'm going to give him the check regardless of your shit, and then I'll just set him here till he.
Yeah, please give him no matter what. Mark is an ass.
I hope this works out with him.
Me too.
So many things could go wrong.
Old age just kicked in. I forgot what I was talking about.
976.
Yeah. We
got it, my brother.
So we set up the me and my we set up an SNDR and started tracking the calls. Okay, and we didn't really realize what we were about to find. We found several people in management wearing them 976 numbers out to the tune of thousands of dollars. That was just blowing past, okay? And we had this list, and so Rick and I decided that we were going to extort some folks.
We got a criminal over here.
We really didn't do it, but we straight threatened them. It's like, look, do you realize that nobody knows about this but us? But guess what? We know.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Seinfeld where Jerry's dating this chick, and Kramer comes over and is calling the 976 number from Jerry's house. Okay? So, it turns out the whole episode goes by. The chick that Jerry's dating is the 976 lady. And he recognizes her voice all of a sudden. Kramer does.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Yeah, that dude.
God, they fucking did a show on everything.
They did. Yep, and nothing at the same time.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right. Steve, we're going to get Josh on here. Josh is from Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, rpcenter.com. Let's ask him. Hey, I want to try to make sense of this, Josh, okay?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Steve's, what's your father-in-law's first name?
Don.
Okay, so Don was taking minimum distributions on his retirement, the required ones, the RMDs, required minimum distribution, right?
Correct. And he completed his 2021 distribution.
He got his 2021 distribution and then died, okay? Josh, he was dead in October. Hold on, Steve. Let me just explain this, and then only chime in if I'm wrong. So he took his 2021 distribution. He died in October. His wife took possession of those funds as an heir in 2022. Now, she took her minimum distribution as well for 2021. Excuse me, for 2022. For 2020. Got it. So he took his minimum distribution. She took her minimum distribution this year. But now he is somehow being told that they may have to also take another minimum distribution for the dead guy. I'm sorry, Steve, I don't mean disrespect. Josh, what do you think? I mean, Steve, is that right? They're saying, well, yes, the wife took her minimum distribution, but there's still going to be one required for him, even though he's deceased?
Yeah, so once an individual has started taking their required minimum distributions and they pass, the surviving beneficiary is required to continue those required minimum distributions as if that individual were still alive.
Really?
So
and
that's
plus,
correct.
Plus she has to take her own?
Correct, yes.
I never knew that. How weird is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the government wants to get their tax money.
So why would it be different?
Well, what do you mean, why would it be different? Usually when you're dead, Mark, and you don't take minimum.
But she would be the beneficiary, just like if it was a 401k or anything else. But hold on. You still have to pay whatever taxes.
So you're saying she's the beneficiary of his minimum distributions every year, plus her own she has to take.
Yeah.
I don't see it as...
She has options. She could take all of his IRA out and pay taxes at the time, but if she does not, she has to continue those required minimum distributions as if he were still alive.
How about if it went to, let's say she wasn't alive and it was just the son everything went to? Then he could do it the same way as well, right?
No,
he would have to take everything and pay tax.
Well, hold on. Let's
10 years.
Okay. So if another heir takes it, not the spouse, he would have to do what?
He would have 10 years where he could distribute those funds. He could take them all at once. He could stretch them over that 10-year period.
Okay.
As long as they're liquidated within those 10 years.
Got it. Now, and it doesn't matter how old he is, the heir.
Correct.
But a spouse gets to do it on the original schedule.
Correct.
Oh, wow. See, this is why I like Retirement Planning Center of the Rockies, man. They're so smart. Go ahead.
Would the son what I just said, would the son still have to, for those 10-year period, does he still have to take that minimal amount? Or could he wait till year 10?
He could wait till year 10. It wouldn't be super advantageous unless it was a small
No, but he's not forced to do it like the spouse is.
Correct.
No, right.
Correct.
Very interesting. I hope, Steve, did that answer your question?
Yeah, just one quick follow-up question. Since there's no money left in Don's account, it's all been transferred out. Where does the distribution come from? Out of my mother-in-law's new account?
Did she take the funds in her name then?
Yes.
Yeah, she would just continue those distributions based on the remaining schedule.
So she would follow the past schedule, but where the money is held is not that important. Unless she made a distribution, it would have been really important. That would have been critical. If she made a distribution, not an inheritance, then she'd have to pay the tax on it. But she rolled it over into her qualified plan. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. If she rolled it over to her qualified plan, Josh is saying it doesn't increase or decrease the minimum distribution. She follows the original schedule plus takes her own.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's so interesting. Just on the rollover to someone else's qualified plan. If it wasn't his spouse, and I just want you to clarify this, could they do that or they couldn't do that? Could my parents roll over a 401k into one of my IRAs
or whatever? I guess what we're asking, Josh.
Mark, I didn't quite get that.
Here. What he's saying is, could I choose if I inherit one of my parents' qualified plans? Can I roll them into my qualified plan?
No, you could not.
Okay, we got more coming up.
These guys, Mark, they're smart people.
No, you seem to stump them. I heard some of it yesterday. There was a few questions.
No, Mark, it was such an odd thing. It was about a guy who's taking full retirement.
I know, but I
has minor children.
I knew the answer because, well, you know why I knew the answer, but I don't know. You just
So how
that
many,
was
how
all. I
many
didn't
clients,
say it was a bad thing.
How many clients they have that are at full retirement age that have kids under 18?
God, I don't know. These days, I don't think it's that uncommon, is it?
Well,
When does that put you having the kid? 50s or like 40s, late 40s?
Turn that off for a second. Oh, just mine.
In the mid-50s, it's 47 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Spa Palace is proud to announce it's been inducted into the Aqua 100. The highest honor in pool and spa retail. Committed to customer service and community involvement have earned them this prestigious recognition. See what makes Spa Palace the exceptional choice. Visit spapalace.com for locations.
American Simply Floors Inc.com. That's where you go to get great floor coverings at the best prices with the best installers from the best people. I'm not kidding you. I'm serious. I know Buddy and Karen Mitchell for years. One of the things they do is give you the better pricing. Then they get you the better installers. Then what they do is they have design consultants that help you pick the right designs or the right floor coverings. Now they have a wide variety of carpeting. They have LVT, luxury vinyl tile, and they have all kinds of woods. Like the hardwood, solid through and through. They have the engineered floors, which is that 1/4 inch on top of hardwood over fiberboard. And then they have laminates. Whatever you want, they have. Simply Floors Inc. is where you make your own appointment. SimplyFloorsInc.com. John Fuller is a personal injury attorney that will fight for you. What do I mean by that? Well, it's very simple. John Fuller is there for you as a personal injury attorney, and his law firm is small by design. He wants you to get to know his staff and himself, and he'll give you his cell phone number and keep in touch with you over your case. You're not going to become just a number. You know, it's easy to brag about how big you are, but how about bragging about how small you are and the attentive law firm that you have when someone is injured? And that's what John Fuller does. He's my accident lawyer on the show. He can be your accident lawyer at myaccidentlawyer.co. myaccidentlawyer.co. 303-597-4500. Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, they'll pick one for you. Salary-based loan officers that pick the best loan for you based on your circumstances. You can pull cash out. You can lower your payment. You can shorten your term. You can pick any term you want. You can do a pre-approval, which is like shopping with cash because you're already approved. Whatever it is you need in the lending, they'll get you. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, where first they listen, then they lend. Brent Ivinson at the helm. He's been there since the beginning in the early 2000s, and I've known him the entire time. You can trust these people to fix you up with the best loan for your circumstances. IdealHomeLoans.com. They even do credit optimization. Even though you're approved, they tweak your credit. They may say, hey, Tom, pay this down by $40 or $200, and we can get you a better credit tier, better pricing. Right now, IdealHomeLoans.com with the interest rate guarantee. 303-867-7000. Have it. Do it yourself.
I'm glad I remembered with my 68-year-old brain. I thought, I did those.
I didn't think. It's so weird. I didn't hear him.
I don't normally. Sometimes I'm not that good.
560 South La Pena, just west of I-25 on Alameda, then south on La Pena. 303.
I just don't understand how that happened.
What's done more to improve overall health and wellness, modern medicine or personal hygiene? Actually, it's both. But considering that bathing went mainstream in the 1800s and brushing your teeth in the 1900s, isn't it time for something new, like cleaning your nose? After all, your nose is the body's air filter for trapping dirt and germs, the first line of defense against allergies,
Did you do the
bacteria,
you did
and
the one
viruses
over in
from
Highlands,
getting
right?
into your lungs. But how you clean your nose with Navage.
I'm seeing that they ran out of glasses. Yeah. We try to get some every year, man. Because they get hard to get.
To pull saline in one nostril, very back of the nose.
The breweries that participate.
And then out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and microbes. So
but people run out of glasses in the first hour. So if they open up, like these guys probably open up.
Find out for yourself how
hey,
Mark's life.
Hey, you guys still have a bunch of glass words.
So he's going to get his next drink.
Clean nose, healthy life.
Yeah, yeah. All right, thanks.
We've got people all over who.
Yeah, how much are they? I'm sorry.
I recommend Uma, and they're all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution. Uma? Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user plus tax.
They still have them for you?
Yeah, I don't like the way they're doing it, but they do have some. They don't open till 2. I thought because they serve food, they open earlier, to be honest. That's why they have them. They're not even open yet.
So, is it where you buy the mug, or?
You buy, they want $5 for the glass and you pay for the beer. Most of them charge you an extra $1. But that was last year. I don't know what people are doing this year.
For mug day?
It's once a year. It's yeah, and it goes
We're not
towards
paying Ted Scott any more commission.
Fuck, now for well over a year.
Okay, so on my endorsements, it's house, right?
Yeah. We haven't paid, for at least a year.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know, man, to be quite honest. Okay, here's Peakview. I wonder if they're doing it. You want to grab a beer after here, Mark?
I might be able to. I'll let you know as soon as we leave. Just text me where you're going.
Well, let me call this one. This one's real close.
I want to make sure.
And then
we got this all right. I need help on this commission shit.
hey, do you guys still have a bunch of the glasses left, or? Oh, cool. How much are you guys getting for them? What are you guys doing?
Come on, man. I saved them. God damn it.
What's that for? It's Leland Conway. Okay, thanks. Right. They're all selling it. That's so weird.
$5?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
$5.
I think last year.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. So, when we talk about exterior home improvements, what does it take to, like siding? How long should siding last? I mean, we have all kinds of houses, new, used, in between, high, low level, low level. So tell me, stucco, for example. Stucco is lifetime, right?
Yeah, stucco, if it's done correctly. Yeah, it'll last.
You touch it up here and there?
Yeah, sometimes. It just depends what happens, but in general, it's
okay. What about the old shiplap sidings, the composites?
The composites, if they're not like an LP Spart side or something like that, they're not going to last. If they don't have a... All
right, what about aluminum?
Aluminum lasts forever, but...
It can be damaged. Vinyl the same way?
Yeah, easily hail damage.
By the way, GenesisTotalExteriors.com. We know them, we love them, we've been with them a long time.
We've used them.
Don't forget, save all your problems for me.
Remember that one that called up and they painted the aluminum